In late 2028, Kinshasa filed the case in June with allegations that Kigali breached 4 international conventions covering genocide, racial discrimination, discrimination against women, and torture. The allegations span 3 decades. In its application, the DRC argues the accusations have continued for nearly 30 years. Kinshasa accuses Rwanda of committing crimes through armed groups it describes as Kigali's proxies, including M23 rebels. Oral arguments are expected in 2029. I'm Terry McCready for the Black Information Network.
Chicago, one night only, the Destiny's Child iconic reimagined tribute, live at the Congress Theater, Saturday, August 29th. Experience the songs that defined a generation, reimagined. A 5-piece string ensemble delivers a fresh, symphonic take on the hits you love, blending contemporary sound with those signature harmonies and empowering lyrics. Narrated by Matthew Knowles, the management powerhouse behind Destiny's Child. Upgrade to VIP for an exclusive meet and greet. Tickets are moving fast. Get yours now at destiny'schild.com. Say my name, Chicago.
Have you checked out WVON's digital streaming network, Vaughn TV? It's everywhere on Roku, Apple TV Plus, Amazon Fire, on the WVON app, and at VON.TV. Vaughn TV, it's cultural content on purpose.
Maria Pappas with Black Houses Matter.
We're up to way over 400 million here. Yeah, giving money back. How about that? People in Bellwood got 10 million, Broadview 6 million, Burnham 3 million, South Holland 17 million. The city of Chicago's up to $190 million that we have given back to African Americans. Who does that? Nobody does that but WVON.
Cook County Treasurer Maria Pappas with Black Houses Matter, Monday mornings at 11:30 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This report is brought to you by Jewel Osco. Shop Jewel Osco and catch the savings on seafood. Fresh Atlantic salmon fillets are $5.99 a pound. Limit 10 pounds. Plus, Waterfront Bistro 26 to 30 count easy peel raw shrimp is also $5.99 a pound. Limit 4 pounds.
The views expressed on our programs are not necessarily those of WVON, Midway Broadcasting Corporation, or our participating sponsors.
Live from the Xfinity Studios at WVON, it's the Cleopatra Show on Chicago's essential storyteller, 1690 WVON.
Let me take it back. Told you give me a minute and I'll be right back. Said that I couldn't get. I done got so sick and filthy with binges I can't spin. I'm gonna be talking like I just gotta fit it. To the number 1 G button in this game, so I'm hit. One of the college ways, every radio trying to run on because that's where I be. My hood up, baby, better have a 6-pack in the cooler. Getting money, even getting money. If you ain't getting money, then you ain't got nothing for me. Tell me something. Where your boss at? Ladies up in here and lick the top. Reach out, what you say? He ain't no tea. The female version of a hustler.
5 things you should never do on a first date. Number 1, talk negatively or consistently about your ex relationships. When you are talking about your ex relationships to the new person you're on a date with, especially when you're complaining, especially when you're trauma dumping, especially when you're talking about everything he or she did wrong, What you're communicating is, that's exactly what I'm going to do with you when I'm not dating you. Or the first impression is nothing but drama. Keep that to yourself. Talk to your BFF about that, but don't bring that in on your first date. Number two, don't be on your phone the entire date. That is so unbelievably rude. Keep your phone in your purse or in your pocket or under your leg, and avoid trying to be distracted by checking your socials or by texting people. Put that phone away and make eye contact with the person you're on a date with. Number three, don't interrogate your date, meaning don't ask 500 questions. Let it be more of a flowing conversation. With that being said, don't talk about yourself either the entire time. Make sure that you are asking questions, but not an interrogative interview type style. Just let it be a natural flowing conversation. Number four, don't pretend that you're something that you're not. In other words, don't make up stories to support a certain society position or an income or any of those kind of things. Just don't make up stories. Just tell the truth and be exactly who you are, because you want to present the authentic, organic you. Number five, don't forget about common everyday kindness. And I'm talking about to the server, to the busboy, to the valet, to the person you're talking to. Make sure that you remember that kindness is really your best foot forward. Try to be engaging, try to be hospitable, try to be courteous, and absolutely be kind at all times. Being on a first date, it can be very, very intimidating, and it can be also very stressful for both people involved. You definitely want to keep your eyes and ears open and watch and look for the things that you actually are looking for in a future partner, long-term spouse. But always remember that you don't want to portray something that you're not, and you want to be present, and you want to be conversational, not interrogative. And you also
And we
want to
are
be kind.
back,
Because
guys.
being
You're
on a first
listening
date,
to the Cleopatra Show. Of course, we're up live on Facebook. Be sure to like the WVON page, interact with me. I'll talk back with you. If you would like to keep up with me exclusively, be sure to follow me across all social media platforms at Follow Cleopatra. Now, it is Funny Clip Fridays. I'm not necessarily saying that that clip was funny, but yesterday, my husband said something to me. Now, if you're looking on the StreamYard, yes, it is. I'm on my way to the hair salon day. That's the only time you're going to see me in a baseball cap. I want to be very clear about this. But even with me rocking this bear down opportunity, shout out to Maddie Matt, don't get it fooled. But I did something yesterday. I was taking down my hair, and he wound up saying something to me along the lines of the things you don't do or you didn't do on the first day, right? Or the first few dates, right? First few dates. Was I fly? Absolutely. Was he handsome? Absolutely. So it made me think. And I told Sonya, you know, scholarly Sonya, I have to wind it down when it comes to Friday. And sometimes she winds me down because we can go academic all day long, every day. But for the love of God, as we survive this regime and all of the noise and still be black in America, Friday I'm gonna lighten your load. So I want to talk about the things that you don't do on a first date. Now, some of you all will have to jog your memory. Some of you all are actually dating now. Some are about to get married, been there, done that, rode the cart up and down the hill. You're like a roller coaster, But to the person that was on the clip, she pretty much poked holes in the imposter syndrome, right? Like, do you show up your authentic self? Do you try to dial it down? You know, are you adding in some lashes, subtracting something here? What do you do, or what did you do, or what don't you do on a first date? So it just made me think. It's been a long time since I had a first date, but I can remember my first date like yesterday with my husband. And it's funny because we usually tell the whole story together because folks always ask how we met. But the point is, it just made me think, you know, I would like to agree the don'ts in this era, the phone. But even then, if I'm on a date and you and your phone, I might get up and walk away. I don't know what I would do, honestly. My patience has thinned as I grow older. I only have patience for like literally children. And even then, I may repeat myself multiple times. But the phone for me. So 773-591-1690. And then I want to know, what's a popular date night location? I'm just curious. A mom of three. Mr. Draper and I don't get out too often, but what's going on in the city? As I think about just summertime eventually coming to a conclusion, you know, I got down to the loop in record time. So that means that most folks either called off for work, ran out of Chicago, or not even trying to get to wherever they were going. So I didn't have to fight with nobody to get down here. So where are folks going? What's happening? What are the don'ts? I also agree with the clip about trauma dumping. If you dragging your ex on your first date with a new person, yeah, I don't know. You might need a therapist. I hadn't thought about that one. Unless the person asks. And even when a person asks, they don't really want to know the whole story. They just want to know what you're going to say. They're just testing you, right? So, what are the don'ts? If you are ill mannered, you chew like a horse, you smacking. I think the older I get, I have no patience. I have no filter. And if you don't know how to close your mouth, how do you know these things unless you go out with a person? I don't know. I've been with Mr. Draper so long. I have to dial back. I met a few frogs before him, but anyway, I'm just curious. So the phone lines are lighting up. I see you all in the chat, Brother Wall. Go on more dates than a little bit. What do you do if you are on the date from hell? Like, and what does the date from hell look like? Does it look like when the check come, you looking at me and I'm looking at you? Is the assumption that we split it? What are the expectations in 2026? Let's talk to Frank. Frank, talk to me. Welcome to WVON.
Hey, love your show as usual. Yeah, the first day, my wife and I will be celebrating 38 years of marriage this year, and we have a son and a daughter. Going our first day, we met actually in the church. One of her close friends invited her to our church. She came. She liked the ministry, and she joined the church, and she joined the choir. I was already in the choir. She joined the choir. Went on a couple of dates, and she was highly sought after, very attractive lady. And I didn't think I had a chance at her. But I just took a chance, went on a date, and just went from there. But our days, it was very, very, very pleasant. We talked about life and each other aspirations in life, and it was very pleasant actually. And I know some dates and marriages that have been, and our marriage is very pleasant. But I being married for so long, we had some friends and family whose marriages fell apart, through the years, and I think that actually comes from having an infatuation versus falling in love and have an interest in that person. But first day has been very pleasant. I have nothing, negative to say, but the journey has been triumphant, I must say, with our marriage.
Let me ask you this. So, you're my long-standing married couple. So, what's a popular date night location?
My wife is a vegan, so she loves Indian food. So we have our favorite Indian restaurant in Naperville that we go to from time to time. They know who we are, and they do a lot of special things for us because we visit several times uh, through the years. So I know, I kind of focus on her versus focus on. I mean, I'm a steak man, but I really focus on when it comes to dating and going to favorite places and things like that.
That's very
And I
nice,
think that
Frank. That's very
and I
nice.
think that has a lot to do with you focus on your, men focus on your wives. Don't focus on yourself. They keep the marriages vibrant and going strong. So just continue to focus on your wife.
All right, good call. I love it. He sounds like he got a happy wife. Listen, Keith, Andre, I see you all. Now, Brother Wall said he was on a date from hell yesterday. I got to hear about this. We're talking about dating, right? And clearly you still can date your spouse. So it's all kind of opportunities how to date. But the do's and don'ts. Now, um, our last caller just said, Frank just said, don't not focus on your wife. And I've heard a saying, happy wife, happy life. And I'd be like, amen. If you want to be happy with me, y'all gonna mess around, Mr. Draper gonna call. We'll be back after this break.
More from Cleopatra coming up next on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
When it comes to celebrating our Chicagoland communities, Wintrust is here for it. We are proud to support small businesses in our own backyards, like Pies of London, authentic English savory meat pies made with the best ingredients, located at 1071 Rolling Road in Elk Grove Village. Pop-in plates, kitchen rentals, catering, and classes at 64 Lester Road in Park Forest. And Fusion Beauty Academy, professional training for cosmetology and more, located at 18 Ohio Street in Joliet.
This is your host and life coach, Linnell Harris, and I want you to join me every Sunday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. for Inspirational Perspective. On Inspirational Perspective, we talk life vision, life purpose, and the show is all about helping you live the best life possible. So join me as we look at supporting you in living the life you intend to live and making your life's vision a reality. Every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 a.m. WVON.
Tuned in to your favorite WVON personalities on Facebook Live? Don't just watch, like it, love it, share it. Every click helps us grow the conversation and keep the community strong. So remember, like it, love it, share it, Chicago.
Lung cancer is common among East Asian descendants, especially females.
We understand our patients have different backgrounds and circumstances, which is why we promote nearly 1,000 health screenings each year, like the CLUES program, which screens high-risk, often uninsured patients for cancer.
If it wasn't for the CLUES program at Northwestern Medicine, we wouldn't know my mom had lung cancer.
Because we treat our community the same way we treat our patients, better.
And now back to the Cleopatra Show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And we are back. The time is 9:23, and it's Funny Clip Fridays, and we're talking about dating. Come on, Black Chicago, Black America. I always bring this fun fact. In the 1950s, we were the most married in the country. Now, it's not just exclusively married folks. Some of us been there, done that, checked the box. Spouses went on to glory, or you done sent them home packing. Bottom line is, folks still date with folks, if they date at all. So I open up with a clip of the things you don't do. You don't trauma dump on your first date. You don't be all in your phone. That's rude. But what is it that you do or don't do? What do you find rude? For me, I've been a long time since I've been on a date, but as a married person, I'm still telling my husband, could you stop smacking? Don't let him have something you really like. Lord, help us. Sometimes I done learn how to just let go and let God. But if he tap dancing, in and around that last nerve, I'm going to stick it to him. I promise you. Um, then I look across the table, my son doing the same thing. I just be like, Jesus, fix it. Now if I was to imagine a first date or another date, I don't know the things that I wouldn't tolerate. Which is why I'm asking you. 773-591-1690. Now, Brother Wall said he was on a date from hell yesterday, and he said she drove and had nearly 6 potential accidents, ran 3 stop signs, and almost rear-ended a truck. Brother Wall, who was you on a date with? Did she have lead in her foot, or her medication was unsteady? And why is it men always saying women can't drive? You know, let my brother listen. He'll swear every woman in the family cannot drive. Let's talk to Keith. Keith, talk to me. Welcome to WVON.
Good morning, Mrs. Draper. Thank you for the forum and giving us a chance to speak in it. My thing about dating when I was, and maybe a little bit now in marriage, not so much, but she's cool. Don't expect me to make you whole. Come to me as a whole person, not broken and needing me to complete you. Don't manipulate me. Don't be narcissistic or be insatiable. I'll take you to Mahari over in Hyde Park, 14 Parish, after going to a play downtown in Goodman, something like that. I don't know, or whatever we discuss and think is right. I want to get to ETA though. I haven't been to ETA yet.
So you all are still dating, but don't expect for me to make you whole. What does that mean?
I'm not going to vent about the past. The past is where it is, and I learn from it. But if you need something that you could do yourself, if you could help me understand what you need, not just expect me to understand what you need, those are the roots of the issues that I think I found in the past. And, I got issues too. I'm not perfect, but still. Don't expect me to be what you can't be. Good enough?
Yeah. I mean, I hear you. Good call. See, I need you to be all you can be, like you show up in that white man's army. That's what I need. I'm gonna tell you. But I've always some would just say you just tough. No. If you show up in the white man's army and you gonna give all you can give, and then you show up at my door half stepping, you can keep on stepping. I'm going to go back to the phone lines. Let me quit playing with y'all. Let's talk to Andre. Andre, talk to me. Welcome to WVON.
Good morning to you, Miss Cleopatra. Happy Friday to you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for letting me be myself. I'm going to tell you, for as far as I'm concerned, I think I've had the best of the dating years. Why do I say that? Because when I started dating, there was no such thing as no cell phone. You had to sit there and talk. Wasn't nobody's phones ringing when you was out on a date. If you was at a little lounge or something, it was just music. See, so I don't look at it as baggage. When you ask about things you should say and you shouldn't say on a date, I want to know it all, because I don't look at it as the baggage. I look at it as information. When you're telling me things, I'm telling you my things, then we know how each other, how we are. Because the reason why people lie is because other people can't accept the truth. And if you could start off accepting the truth, then you would tell the truth from that point on. See, so I don't look at it back, no matter whether it be your ex, your spouse, or no matter what you done went through, we're going to share each other's pros and cons, and then we can decide at that moment if we still want to take up time with one another. That's the way I see it. But when I was dating, there was no phone. Now, the other question you asked is, what is a good place to date? When I'm trying to pick a place to date, I'm going to pick a place where I don't have to worry about people coming in there sitting next to me and my woman or my date, smelling like weed, smelling like alcohol, and just have a real foul mouth. Now, what you do is your business, but wherever I take you is going to be a reflection on me. So I'm going to try to pick the best, respectful, decent place that, to entertain, because it's going to go on a date, because it's going to be a reflection on me. What do you think of me, Cleopatra, if I take you out on a date and then people come there smelling like weed, they smoking alcohol, and they cussing, they're talking about everything on the sun? You're not going to think highly of me. You're going to tell your friends and your family, man, this dude took me to this that was totally jacked up. So I'm conscious of that. So I'm going to find a quiet place where you can have social intercourse, because that's what the conversation is social intercourse.
Social intercourse.
That's what it is. That's what conversation is, social intercourse. And so you sit back and you have a dialogue, and no holds barred. Because I can accept your, if you can accept my, what they call baggage, I can accept yours. But we got to know the truth. I don't want no, like I say, I don't want to get that girl from I'm going to get you sucker. I don't want that type of girl. You go back home and then she start putting off the false arm, the false leg, and all that stuff. If you got a false arm, say it up front, and then I decide if I want to keep company. Now, I dated before, Cleopatra, and I laid all my cards on the table, because at the time, I'm in my second home now, but at the time I stayed in an apartment, so I was dating. So I took a deck of cards with me, because I say I really like this lady, so I'm going to lay all my cards on the table. We got to the restaurant. I opened the deck of cards and I spread them out on the table, and I said, "Baby, let me tell you, so I'm gonna lay all my cards on it right now. I don't own a home. I live in a 1-bedroom apartment, but I'm still a man and need companionship." See, I was truthful with her, and I'm gonna share something else with you right quick, because I don't want to take up the time. But I was out of work one time, and there used to be a newspaper called the Indigo newspaper. You could run a dating ad in there free, but if somebody responded, they had to pay. So a lady responded to my ad to live way out in Joliet, Illinois. And I told her I was unemployed. I'm looking for a job, but I ain't working now. She said, "No problem." Cleopatra, she blew my mind. She came and picked me up. I didn't even have a car. It took me out. She said, "I know when you get in your feet, you're going to look out for me." But the point I'm making is that she said what she appreciated most was my honesty. Because she said most men wouldn't tell a lady that he's out of a job at the moment. And she said she appreciated me most for my honesty. So for me, lay it on the table. No holds barred. I don't look at it as baggage. I look at it as information. We need information. If your husband blew smoke in your face before, tell me that. I ain't no smoker, but if you tell me my ex used to blow smoke in my face all the time, then I'm going to know not to blow smoke in your face. So,
well, there
so
it
is.
Woo!
Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
I want to say hello right quick to Brother Frank and Brother Randy, because they always help to inform me, too. Thank you, Ms. Cleopatra.
No doubt. Woo! Social intercourse. Let me stick something in your ear. We'll be back after this break, guys.
The fog is lifting. The National Weather Service says we're headed toward a daytime high of 86. Good morning. I'm in Illinois, and here's what's happening. Illinois House Speaker Chris Welch is clarifying his intentions about finding the $150 million needed for the new CPS school year. Critics have been calling it a diversion from his office's handling of recent sexual harassment allegations against one of his party members. Perry Williams has more.
Welch says he made a general statement of supporting money for schools statewide. Matthew Luskin with the Chicago Teachers Union remains optimistic.
But I think the Speaker of the House is an intelligent man. I think he sees the news out here. He understands the scrutiny that's going on around the school budget.
Chicago Public Schools officials warn that if they don't get additional funds, they could face mid-year budget cuts. Teachers are scheduled to return to the classrooms on August 17th, and students will arrive on August 24th. I'm Perry Williams.
The Illinois Secretary of State's office is launching a pilot program that will make it easier to get disability parking placards. This comes after a new law in effect that allows families caring for children and adults with disabilities to receive handicap signs. Before the change, only actual drivers with disabilities were granted the privilege. Well, former longtime Cook County Chief Judge Tim Evans is beginning a new important job. He's been appointed to serve as justice for the 1st District Appellate Court. The 83-year-old replaces retired Justice Terrace Levin. That appointment is effective August 17th. Evans led the Cook County Judiciary for 24 years before losing an election to current Chief Judge Charles Beach last year. Well, it's a Bud Billiken Day weekend in Chicago. This year's Grand Marshal, Hollywood actress Lisa Ray McCoy, finished chatting with WVON's Rufus Williams this morning. She says she's bringing stars Anthony Anderson and comedian Cedric the Entertainer with her.
Because people don't understand how big and how important and how I am so emotional about this. To them, it's a parade that they've seen on TV every year because it's the back to school program. It is the celebration to say, yes, education is important still. You've had summer. Now it's time to buckle down and get focused. And we're going to do it again next year, bigger and better.
The 97th annual Bud Billiken Parade kicks off at 10 a.m. tomorrow on Saturday. Tens of thousands are expected to line King Drive for this historic annual back-to-school send-off. Well, that's a look at our news now on 1690 WVON. Traffic and weather up next. WVO News Time, 9:35.
Early detection saves lives. Ladies, if you're due for a mammogram, don't wait. Breast cancer is most treatable when it's found early. Chicago Medicine makes it easier to take charge of your health. Eligible patients can self-schedule their mammogram online or through MyChart in just minutes. Visit uchicagomedicine.org/mammo to schedule your screening. That's uchicagomedicine.org/mammo. Chicago Medicine at the forefront.
Hi, I'm Tavis Smiley, inviting you to join me weekdays from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. right here on WVON. I am bringing you a national perspective on all the happenings in the Black community and, of course, politics. It's talk radio for us, by us, and this is where America listens.
It's Tavis Smiley, weekdays from 6 to 9 p.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Are you ready? Not just to do hair, but to build a real beauty business.
If you're a stylist, a barber, or a beauty professional, this show is for you.
I'm Nidra Williams of Solo Beauty Supplies.
I'm Dr. Lekashan, trichologist and salon owner.
Breaking down real strategy, real growth, and what it takes to win in this industry.
Tap in, lean in, and level up.
The Hair Salon Tour Show, where beauty professionals become business powerhouse. Join us Saturday from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m.
Where beauty professionals become business powerhouses. WVON 1690.
This report is brought to you by Jewel Osco. Shop Jewel Osco and catch the savings on seafood. Fresh Atlantic salmon fillets are $5.99 a pound. Limit 10 pounds. Plus, Waterfront Bistro 26 to 30 count easy peel raw shrimp is also $5.99 a pound. Limit 4 pounds.
WVON traffic and weather now.
It's been a nice and quiet rush hour this morning. Typically, we see light traffic on a Friday. We are seeing some minor delays in a couple spots. One on the inbound side of the Kennedy from Harlem to Lawrence. The other one is right there on DuSable Lakeshore Drive, northbound at Roosevelt Road to Monroe. That one mainly a stoplight delay, and the fact that a couple streets through Grant Park are still closed as crews continue cleaning up after Lollapalooza. Taking a look at our weather, these clouds are lifting. The National Weather Service says we're in store for a partly cloudy day with some sunshine as temperatures climb into the 80s. 86 is our official high. 68 our low tonight. Temperatures all morning pretty steady in the mid 70s. We're still holding at 75 at Midway. It's 75 at Rainbow Beach and 75 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flornoy on the Talk of Chicago. 1690 WVON.
And now back to the Cleopatra Show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And I know it's gonna be
And we are back. The time is 9:38. It's Funny Clip Fridays. Here's a fun fact. I played this song every day as I carried my eldest son, my first sunshine, who just lost his second tooth. I don't know what is going. That boy is all gas, no brakes. The tooth fairy is robbing Peter and making me pay Paul, and then I go and stick up Brandon. But yes, every day as I carried him, it was a lovely day. And that is my sunshine's anthem. So big ups to my baby who is insistently trying to grow up without my permission. But God has truly blessed him, so he don't need my permission. His tooth is insistently trying to come in. He need grown people teeth to eat what I cook. We're talking about dating, guys. And with dating, there's some do's and don'ts on a first date and then the forever dates, right? And some of us are forever dating, right? You're married, you're hanging out, you're about to get married. You don't want to be married no more, but you is married. In different stages, right? Your spouse went on to glory and you just stuck here and you just said, YOLO, you only live once. You didn't want to be married and you forever dating. There are levels to this, right? Or you like to date multiple people, right? Whatever you're doing, it requires you to engage. And thanks to Andre, we've just coined a new term. We're gonna call this segment social intercourse. I think that that's interesting. I'm gonna put something in your ear. See, I'm gonna build on that one. That's just what I do, right? So, God bless you, Andre. So, with this conversation, I'm interested. Where y'all be dating? Where y'all go, right? The Drapers, we don't get out too much. Hence the little people. So we take them a lot of places, but when we do get out, folks invite us around, but it's different. Chicago is just different. It's not the vibe in terms of out and about, which is why I get a little envious about what goes on around the north side juxtaposed to the far south side. So, if I was to think about it, we I do love Broadway, so we may see a production here and there. Um, but the fight is to stay woke because a little sleep deprived because of the baby. But I don't know. I have to think about it. Which is why I'm asking you all, what's the lick read? When you ain't been out on the scene in a minute, I'm guilty. I'm guilty. I don't know. But the do's and don'ts, I agree. No, don't be in the phone on my time. Don't do that. Smacking at the table would drive me up a wall. But having some conversation too, and not just the standard cookie cutter. How was your day? You know. So tell me what y'all be talking about. What you're doing? 773-591-1690. Let's talk to Nancy. Nancy, talk to me. Welcome to WVON.
Hello. How are you?
I'm in good spirits.
Good. I just want to say this. Earlier, when you were talking about Brother Williams, you said he went on a date and the driver, she almost got into accidents and things of that nature. Where was his car? I'm just curious to ask that. But I know you can't answer that. But anyway, I digress.
I don't know, Brother Wall.
Right. Yeah, Brother Wall. Yeah, just how come he wasn't driving? But again, I digress. I want to tell you about a date I went on. This man was fine. He was tall. Yes, he was tall. He was so fine. When you look at him, all you could say was, yes, Lord. I mean, he was just fine, and he was tall, and I'm a climber, Cleopatra. I like to climb. However, he asked me out, and I was excited to go. He pulls up, and he has his two children in the back. One is 6 months, and the other was about 3 or 4 years old. And I thought he was, coming to pick me up and then dropping them off as we were en route, to go out. That wasn't the case. He explained to me after I got in the car, after he took off, while he was driving, that it was his turn to watch the children. And they were going to go with us to eat. And I was taken aback by that. And when we got to the restaurant, he actually wanted me to help feed them and things of that nature. So I helped, but I was taken aback by that. Have you ever experienced anything like that?
Actually, no. Prior to me meeting my husband, which was nearly 12 years ago, I didn't date men with children. So I'm just going to be very, very honest. I'd never seen many of scenarios where it worked out. I've always seen the Nightmare on Elm Street iterations, and I didn't want any of that smoke. And at that time in my life, it was all about me. And at least I was very honest about that. So I would have never gotten into that kind of entanglement. And I'm just
Oh,
being
okay. Well,
honest.
I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. I didn't mind him having children. Don't get me wrong. I had children, but they didn't come out with us. So
And
that's
that's
the
fair.
difference.
Like I didn't have children until long after I got married, but I just didn't
Mhm.
want a man because I never seen. I had many a girlfriends where it was just always a story to be told, and I knew I wasn't made for that, so I just avoided it.
Oh, okay, all right, okay, good,
But
good,
I think
good
that
for
is
you.
hilarious that he had the children in the back. So how did this conclude? What did you do? Did you feed the children? You care for them? What you do? Or was the date over?
I did. I fed them because I wanted to eat too. I fed them, and he dropped me off and he apologized. He did, and that was it. He did call me afterwards, and I'm not going to lie. I went out with him again a couple of times. However, I did ask, "Will your children be accompanying us?" And he said, "No, no, that was just a one-off."
And then
But other than
you
that,
have a listener saying he not understanding your frustration. Your frustration is I guess she didn't know that he was going to pull she thought it was going to be a date between he and her and he
exactly.
pulled up with the family.
It was like a family affair. Everyone, I'm like, what? Okay,
Well,
you know.
good call, Nancy. Good call. I
Okay, thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Bye bye.
Hey, wait, let me go up in this chat cuz you know I'm good for that. Trina said, I'm finna come through the studio with my flat irons, girl. No, you're not, girl. You're gonna say them for you, because I'm gonna pull up at my stylist. Let me be clear. I don't wear no baseball cap often. I don't play for no sports team. And if I do got on the cap, I am leaving here to go handle that. But even still, with me letting my hair down, take care of you. I got me. Let me be clear. My stylist listening to me right now. I'm gonna be put together. 2.5. Just get it to me. Just give me a little space. I'm going back to the phone lines. Let's talk to Donald. Donald, talk to me. Welcome to WVON.
Hey, good morning, Cleopatra.
Good morning.
So let me provide you with a little context of my understanding before I address your question. Now, the man is a natural born leader of men, women, and children, while the woman is a natural born leader of children. I definitely seen the pain in my son's eyes when he was being weaned off that nipple. So, that's one thing. And this also, speaks to as to the current situation that we face ourselves in with a lot of unruly children, because it's difficult for a woman to have a child, have children without a man being present to assist them in that crossover point from childhood to adulthood. Now, going towards, your question and whatnot, the first date, or however you want to put it, it's more or less a verbal evaluation, and this is me speaking personally. I evaluate that woman, by asking a question, getting into her head a little bit, because there is a certain look type that I'm searching for. And then pretty much after that, you know what I'm saying, is when we, gonna get a little action into that evaluation, putting your words to the test. But ultimately, along with that evaluation process, I will be giving glimpses and hints into my blueprint, my plan, my direction as to where we are going to go. And understanding that there is some giving and taking going on with that, you know, that mutual coming together. Either you're going to assist me or you're not going to be on this journey with me. So I think that, as a collective, we have strayed away from the natural leadership of, our relations towards each other. And thanks for taking my call.
Absolutely, Donald. I appreciate it. Listen, when we come back, Al Stone is on the live line, and I'm going to take your calls and comments and more. We're talking about dating, guys. And I am trying to take the serious out of it because it's Funny Clip Friday, but dating is serious business. My father used to tell me so is driving. We'll be back.
More from Cleopatra coming up next on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
When it comes to celebrating our Chicagoland communities, Wintrust is here for it. We are proud to support small businesses in our own backyards, like Pies of London, authentic English savory meat pies made with the best ingredients, located at 1071 Rolling Road in Elk Grove Village. Pop-in plates, kitchen rentals, catering, and classes at 64 Lester Road in Park Forest. And Fusion Beauty Academy, professional training for cosmetology and more, located at 18 Ohio Street in Joliet.
Alexa, play WVON 1690 AM.
Getting WVON 1690 AM station from iHeartRadio.
Try it out for yourself. America is listening to WVON.
Identity theft can cost more than you think. Drained investment accounts, stolen tax returns, lost wages, expenses for lawyers. It's a lot. That's why LifeLock is backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which covers up to $1 million for stolen funds, fees, and experts and lawyers, and out-of-pocket expenses. Don't face the burden of identity theft alone. Protect your future and finances with LifeLock. Join now. Save up to 30% off your first year with promo code BECK at LifeLock.com. 1-800-LifeLock, promo code BECK. LifeLock.com. Terms to apply.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is your host and life coach, Linnell Harris, and I want you to join me every Sunday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. for Inspirational Perspective. On Inspirational Perspective, we talk life vision, life purpose, and the show is all about helping you live the best life possible. So join me as we look at supporting you in living the life you intend to live and making your life's vision a reality. Every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 a.m. WVON.
WVON, traffic and weather now.
For the most part, all of the expressways are moving at or even under the posted speed. No problems or delays, except in the express lanes along the Ryan, that northbound trip right there. We're seeing some delays right around 35th Street, some minor stop-and-go clusters as you make your way to the Stevenson Expressway. Taking a look at our weather on the humid side today, the National Weather Service says we're in store for a pleasant day. Dry, temperatures climbing into the 80s. 86 is our official high. We're up to 77 in Midway. It's 77 at the Obama Presidential Center and 77 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flanoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And now back to the Cleopatra Show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And we are back. The time is 9:53. It is Funny Clip Fridays on the Cleopatra Show. We're talking about dating Black people. Black America. You still date? If so, what's popular? What's popping? What's the do's and don'ts on a date? It could be your first date. It could be your forever date. I just want to hear from you. Check this out. This August, Vaughn TV invites you to feed your mind. Renew your spirit, and challenge your perspective. Watch Bound and Woven with Rufus Williams, Serenity and Strength and Style with Sylvia Ewing and Friends, and two powerful documentaries, Wronged, the Maurice Carter story, and Behind Our Walls, exploring justice, resilience, and the power of second chances. Watch anytime on Roku TV, Amazon Fire, Apple TV Plus, and the WVON app or at Vaughn.tv. So check it out. Look for something juicy, something to do. Because right now we're having social intercourse. I want to thank Andre for that. I'm going to put something in your ear. And we're going to continue to take these calls and more. Now, I'm getting some text messages. Nancy, what you mean by climbing? Let me be clear. You know, uh, what am I? I'm nearly 5'9". And there are times I might say a tall drink of water. And depend on how thirsty you are, right? So when she says she wants to climb, obviously vertically she's challenged. And she was excited that he was a tall man. So she gonna climb a tree. Use your imagination. I told you I was gonna put something in your ear. Let's talk to Al Stone. Al Stone, talk to me. Welcome to WVON.
Miss Cleo, you got me on that one. But nevertheless, I was calling talking about when I met my wife, and I think it depends on when the age group. I was 33 and she was 24, and so we had a different type of vibe. I was working at a health club on Lake in Michigan, and she was working on State at Mondays as a waitress. So we had, we were everywhere. We spent a lot of time over there in Wicker Park at the Center Bar, Red Dogs. We were doing jazz clubs. We was in people's basements, backyards, and we partied the first 3 years of our marriage. So, it depends on, where you connect at. One thing I can say, if I had to, and this is my ex-wife now after 23 years, still my insurance agent and carries the last name, however. But if I had to go somewhere and hang out right now, and I would tell you and Mr. Draper, visit the Green Mill and go down there about 1:30. It's open to 5. It's an awesome experience.
1:30 in the morning?
Yeah, this is when you really get to know somebody.
Oh, man. The youngest made 9 months. That's not real.
You might have to sleep till 11 o'clock now.
What? And I know I sound like a square. 1:30 in the morning. I was so serious. I was just like, wait, I can't remember. I was just telling Mr. Draper. I was looking at some photos. You know how Facebook take you back? We in Aruba. We kind of like what you said, bouncing all over. That was before the children. I can tell you where we were. But 1:30 in the morning, Al? Okay. The Green Mill, huh? Okay.
The Green Mill on that jazz. It's late night jazz, late night open, and it's awesome. I just wanted to put that in y'all ear.
All right. I like you. I like that you stuck it in there. Okay. Good job. Good job. Green Mill. All right. I'm gonna start taking some notes, y'all. We're gonna put this to work. We're gonna start us a little list. We're gonna check our list twice. Wow, 1:30. Now who been up at one besides me, probably nursing, but who else in real time? 1:30? If you ain't did all of what you gonna do by then, what? I can't even think. Maybe early 30s. Definitely all throughout my 20s. I could tell you. Oh yeah, I pull up. That's nothing. But now I just be like, not having to brush teeth, grab babies out. What? No. But Green Mill. Who else got some good little locations? That would be great. I'm constantly thinking. Now, Brother Wall, let me see if Brother Wall responded. Brother Wall, she wanted to know why you was not in your car. So is there a thing about men that ride with women and not be the driver? Is that a thing against chivalry? I'm a believer that chivalry is not dead. If I find out it's dead within you, I'm gonna treat you accordingly. Like I had a man, I was on my way to the budget meeting for Chicago Public Schools going into Gwendolyn Brooks. And he complaining the whole walk in terms of which doors open and why it wasn't marked and so on and so forth. And he's complaining amongst women, but I was just cool. I just didn't even engage because usually if I don't want to talk, I just stay mute and quiet because they pay me to talk enough here. So I'm walking. We get to the door that is the actual entrance. What does he do? What does he do? What does he do? He opened the door for himself, and then the woman that was two ahead of me grabbed it, and I finally said something. And I said, out of all of that complaining, I probably used another word that was French. You ain't even got enough sense to hold the door for the women behind you. And every woman nodded and said something in agreement, right? So chivalry was dead for him. So throughout the entire meeting, of course, he behaved just as he did outside, inside. So my expectations were met and measured. But the point that I'm making is I didn't have high regards because he didn't have enough sense to hold the door for women. That bothers me, right? So I don't know if I'm bothered by a man that doesn't drive on the first date because I don't think I would get in the car with you on the first date. Let me be clear. I don't know you. And like I said before break, one thing about my father, very, very old school, he said, girl, driving is serious business. And I believe my daddy. So I think it's always wise, particularly as a woman, for your own safety and well being, I'll meet you there, and I can drive myself home, right? Because I may not want you to know where I live, right? Safety first. That's what I'm thinking in my mind. And I don't know, you might have a YOLO mindset. You only live once. And then you be in the car like Brother Wall was with the speed demon. I'm serious, even though I'm joking, but I'm very serious about that. So I definitely want to hear from you. And then Brother Wall said, we went to the car wash. Brother Wall, you being silly. You being silly. When we come back, we're going to continue more. I got some funny clips about dating. I definitely want to hear from you. You don't want to miss this conversation because we're going to take it up 10,000 notches on a Friday. You don't want to miss this.
The patchy dense fog has finally begun to lift, turning partly sunny and 86 on this Friday. August 7th, 2026. I'm Anna Flanoyan in the headlines. It's a Bud Billiken weekend in Chicago. This year's Grand Marshal, Hollywood actress Lisa Ray McCoy, had a long chat this morning with WVON's Rufus Williams. She says she's bringing stars Anthony Anderson and comedian Cedric the Entertainer with her. The 97th annual Bud Billiken Parade kicks off at 10 a.m. tomorrow. A tax break for back-to-school shopping starts today, and a longtime Cook County chief judge is beginning a new important job. National news from the Black Information Network is next on Chicago's original social media platform, 1690 AM WVON, Berwyn, Chicago. It's 10:01.
Mike Island with BIN News Now. The Department of Justice is considering a move to charge Dr. Anthony Fauci with a crime. A vote by the Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee came after he invoked the Fifth Amendment more than 100 times. Senator Marsha Blackburn is the winner in the GOP primary race for Tennessee governor. She defeated Congressman John Rose and State Representative Monty Fritz. Meanwhile, not a good day for U.S. Representative Andy Ogles. He lost his Republican primary in Tennessee to former state official Charlie Hatcher. The Trump administration wants to cut regulations on the federal Head Start program that serves low-income children. Federal officials want to reduce regulations governing the program, including a proposed change that could eliminate the class size limits. The proposals would go through a federal review process and could take effect as early as 2027. Now back to Terry McCready.
A Senate committee voting to hold Dr. Anthony Fauci in contempt of Congress. Kentucky Republican Rand Paul said what Fauci is being charged with now has nothing to do with what's covered under the pardon.
Well, there's going to be a legal question for judges, and there is some precedent going back to the Supreme Court saying that if you've been granted immunity, that you have to agree to testify. You can't get a pardon and then plead the fifth, that they're inconsistent with each other.
The vote by the Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee comes after the former White House health advisor invoked the Fifth Amendment more than 100 times in a hearing last week about the COVID-19 pandemic. The Department of Justice can now move to consider charging Fauci with a crime. Fauci refused to answer questions, saying he thinks committee chair and Republican Senator Rand Paul wants to see him behind bars and is obsessed with him. Paul accuses Fauci of uncovering COVID's origins and of unnecessarily closing schools. Senate Republicans voting down an amendment that would have expanded Americans' ability to sue pesticide companies over health risks. The proposal offered by New Jersey's Black Democratic Senator Cory Booker followed a recent Supreme Court ruling that limited lawsuits over pesticide warning labels.
I'm living in a world where it's so different than when I was an executive because we spend $4.9 billion a day on interest on our debt because of profligate spending. Both sides of the aisle have been the most fiscally irresponsible people to run our country like we're running it now. And we're arguing over an entire program that affects $100 billion and 45 million Americans resolve on it.
All right, supporters said the amendment would have restored the rights of cancer victims to pursue legal action, while Republicans opposed the measure. The Senate Agriculture Committee also failed to advance the broader farm bill during yesterday's meeting. The son of legendary black singer Jubilant Sykes is pleading not guilty to murdering his father. 31-year-old Micah Sykes is accused in the brutal stabbing of the 71-year-old at their Santa Monica home last December. Prosecutors say his mother witnessed the deadly attack. Sykes is due back in court on September 2nd, when a date will be set for a hearing to determine whether there is sufficient evidence for him to stand trial. He remains behind bars without bail. Jubilant Sykes was a Grammy-nominated opera singer. The International Court of Justice has set the timetable for the Democratic Republic of Congo's case accusing Rwanda of international law violations. Kinshasa must file its arguments by October 2027, and Kigali's response is due in late 2028. Kinshasa filed the case in June with allegations that Kigali breached 4 international conventions covering genocide, racial discrimination, discrimination against women, and torture. The allegations span 3 decades. In its application, the DRC argues the accusations have continued for nearly 30 years. Kinshasa accuses Rwanda of committing crimes through armed groups it describes as Kigali's proxies, including M23 rebels. Oral arguments are expected in 2029. I'm Terry McCready for the Black Information Network.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-729-7070. That's 1-800-729-7070. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-729-7070. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
After graduating TTI, I got my CNA license, and an organization called Skills of Chicago helped me get into Northwestern Medicine.
Northwestern Medicine has created a pipeline to medical education and jobs in healthcare for our neighboring communities. It's no wonder we're the 3rd largest private employer in Illinois.
It's a place where it's like a flower. I can just see myself grow.
Because we treat our community the same way we treat our patients. Better.
Every Sunday, now you'll be able to listen to the First Church of Deliverance here on 1690 WVON and on the iHeartRadio app at 11 p.m. Tune in for inspirational music, powerful word, and a blessing from the Lord. That's the First Church of Deliverance, Sundays at 11 p.m. right here on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON. Follow us at fcdchicago.org.
This report is brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Starting Stronger starts at AutoZone, where we've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
WVON, traffic and weather now.
This light traffic is typical for Friday in Chicago. The only thing lighting up the traffic board right now is on the outbound side of the Kennedy. Right now from Lawrence to Sayre, we're seeing some minor stop and go traffic there. Taking a look at our weather, shaping up to be a pleasant, sunny day in Chicago. The National Weather Service says we're headed to a daytime high of 86. We'll see a few clouds, though, but still a bright, pretty day. Right now, temperatures are in the upper 70s. We're looking at 77 at O'Hare. It's 78 in Austin and 78 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Live from the Xfinity Studios at WVON, it's the Cleopatra Show on Chicago's essential storyteller, 1690 WVON.
I want to thank the Lord for bringing me here today into this beautiful building with the beautiful snacks in the green room. Cheese cubes, chicken Caesar wrap, little chopped up room temperature fruits, honeydew melons, cantaloupe melons, cups of pineapple that tastes like melon because they've been touching the rest of the melon for too long.
Amen, brother.
What you think about them snacks, Teddy?
Hey, you can have all the meat you want, but if it ain't a sandwich, you ain't got no bread, all right?
Okay.
I mean, that was great, but I was kind of hoping you could say something that would feel, unifying.
Oh, absolutely. Bow your head. Okay. Father God, Lord Jesus, we got to come together. No matter who you are, no matter what your skin color, no matter if you're a man or a woman, I especially want to thank God for making woman. Beautiful woman, y'all know that. Full bottom jeans, boots with the fur, big old forehead, and the curvature. Always look the curvature of an ample, big foreheaded woman. Rihanna, Zoe Deschanel, with the hiding under them bangs, I know it's crazy. Amen. Father God, Lord Jesus.
And we are back. It's Funny Clip Fridays on the Cleopatra Show. And what you hiding under that forehead? Under them bangs? What you got going on over there? Listen, we're talking about dating Black America, and a number of my peeps are texting me some locations. Drop your location. Drop a pin. Let me know what's the move. Chicago is going through this metamorphosis, right? And through it all, what used to be don't make honey. And when I hear folks talk about from the 99 to the 2000s, you can miss me with it. It's almost as though they're suspended in time, and I find it to be concerning. There's a new day in 2026. And what does that landscape look like? Now, we're looking at it through the lens of dating and the expectation. And what are the deliverables? When the check come, do y'all trade places or do you trade looks? Is it the first hand that reach or is it no hand and you better get that goddamn check? What's your attitude? Now, normally I have an attitude of gratitude. But here it is in 2026. I got Pete Hegseth, just as drunk as a skunk, telling America he gonna give men testosterone shots and forbid the opportunity, deliberately prohibit the opportunity of Black people, people of color, and women
from having promotional opportunities of growth and gainfulness in the armed forces. So you can show up in a white man's army and be all you can be, but then you're going to come to my doorstep and half step me. Mm-mm. No, 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 no. Or vice versa. You know, she used to make me dinner. And now I can barely get her to make me lunch. What are the expectations? When you go on a date, are you taking pictures of your food, selfies everywhere, or are you at least trying to engage in conversation? We're having some conversational expectations about dating. And that is leading us to this dialogue because there were more black people married in the 50s than ever before. And two is greater than one. Now, folk barely want to get married. I saw, um, I'm drawing a blank on his name, but he was crying. She done left him penniless and broke, as she's rising to all of this fame and notoriety. She was in one battle after another, and the girl is beautiful. I'm gonna pull it up. One battle after another, and she, Tiana Taylor, she has left this man wounded. He said he don't even want to get married anymore. And is it her fault? I don't think so, at all. I think he definitely bought it on himself. Imani Shumpert, Iman Shumpert, that's it. Shumpert from the West Side. It's all the Shumperts. I've met his uncle. Definitely cheating on her. So what are the grounds for the termination? And then the determination that came out on the other side of her divorce from him. She's a superstar. She went on to glory. So in this conversation, what were our takeaways? I just got somebody to text me, good sister of mine, the Magic Lounge. Have you been to the Magic Lounge? I'm going to add that to our little list. I take a lot of notes while I'm on the air. The Magic Lounge. Where are you all dating? Or are you at home lonely eating ice cream? Some folk just at home patting their dog. You're dating your dog. That's all you got. Your children done left, if you even had children. You cat lady, cat man. What is it? Oh, you said the ex-wife. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I see folks are talking about Kevin Gates' wife. No, no, no. I was talking about Tiana Taylor. Brother Wall says, yesterday was not a total loss. I got busy later on the last night with another date. Okay, Brother Wall. Brother Wall got a couple days. Brother Wall, you get loose. You get around town. There it is. But eventually, I wonder what it's like for people that date when they're not exclusively dating one person and then they're out on a date with somebody else and they see the person they was just dating. Brother Wall, has that ever happened to you? I'm just curious. Now, the Green Mile is on Broadway in Lawrence. The all-time Al Capone used to be hangout. Okay. Y'all sending me to thuggerific land. Okay. Green. Oh, is this? No, I'm thinking of the Green Dolphin. I used to party too much. When I hear green, it just takes me to the Green Dolphin, but the Green Mile. Okay. I got it. I got it. Let's see. Um, Somebody was addressing Donald's point here. So I'm just asking. So listen, if you had a bad date, what do you tell that person? You know, I've always been honest. That that has always worked out well for me. So if you had a bad date, I'm curious. Do you tell the person you're not interested? Do you ghost them? What becomes of that in 2026? I would think if a person stops responding, but I used to think that that was just kind of mean. And as a woman, you know, I'm always thinking about safety, right? And folk look crazy. I've had the privilege to avoid some crazy stuff because I'm in a sorority, and I would listen to all kind of nightmare stories and do my best to avoid the pitfalls. And if I was uninterested, I would just simply say it. But I've always been very straightforward. Um, and I would try my best not to be mean. I don't think that that was always necessary either. But if I was uninterested and did not like you, I would definitely tell you. What do you do? 773-591-1690. We got some more funny clips on the way. And I see you all are blowing up the chat. I'm just curious, as we are trying to navigate this political terrain, there's breaking news that they're going to confirm Todd Blanche, Senator Cassidy, has definitely chickened out and is going to be the tie-breaking vote. The world is in shambles. We are at war with no ammunition. Throughout all the noise, if you were to go out on a date with somebody and you just wasn't interested, what do you tell them? We'll be back after this break.
More from Cleopatra coming up next on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years guaranteed? Now through August 24th, new Xfinity customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, it keeps you protected from online threats. And get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Looking for a fun, free event the whole family can enjoy? Join Insight Hospital and Medical Center Chicago as we celebrate 5 years of serving our community with a community block party and health fair on Saturday, August 15th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 2525 South Michigan Avenue, formerly Mercy Hospital. Enjoy free food trucks and ice cream, music and entertainment, games and activities for all ages, free health screenings, wellness resources, and the chance to meet our expert providers. Bring your family, bring your friends, and celebrate with us. Admission is free. We can't wait to see you. Learn more at InsightChicago.com. That's InsightChicago.com.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Identity theft can cost more than you think. Drained investment accounts, stolen tax returns, lost wages, expenses for lawyers. It's a lot. That's why LifeLock is backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which covers up to $1 million for stolen funds, fees, and experts and lawyers, and out-of-pocket expenses. Don't face the burden of identity theft alone. Protect your future and finances with LifeLock. Join now. Save up to 30% off your first year with promo code BECK at LifeLock.com. 1-800-LifeLock, promo code BECK. LifeLock.com. Terms to apply.
It's time to focus with Robert McKay. Quality conversation, protecting, preserving, and preparing our past, present, and future. Sunday evenings at 4 p.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
WVON, traffic and weather now.
Things remain pretty quiet on the roadways as you make your way along the Ryan. The Bishop Ford, Tuskegee Airmen Memorial, and DuSable Lakeshore Drive, you will move along at the posted speed. The only reading that we're having right now on our traffic map is still on the Kennedy. On the outbound side right there at Foster and Sayre, just some minor stop-and-go traffic. Taking a look at our weather, we're seeing some bright, beautiful skies. The National Weather Service says this fog and clouds will lift. Temperatures will climb into the mid 80s. 86 is our official high. We've been climbing pretty steadily through the 70s all morning. We're up to 78 at Midway. It's 78 in Austin and 78 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And now back to the Cleopatra Show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Someone who was of a different race than yourself.
It don't matter what race she is. We all black when the lights go out.
You know, my mom always told me if you can't use your comb, don't bring her home.
Tommy, you were dating a white girl in college.
Oh, see, what white? In the fridge.
Would you date someone?
And we are back. The time is 10:24. It's Funny Clip Fridays. And they were teeter-tottering into interracial dating. Who is they? Of course, the iconic classic Martin, dedicated to Martin Lawrence, his comedy and his life back then. It was Pam, Tommy, Gina, Cole. And if you can't use her comb, don't bring her home. There was some rules about dating. But Cole said everybody black, we can cut the lights out. What do you all say about that? 773-591-1690. And this tumultuous time that we're in, thanks to this regime, birthright citizenship is on the table. You got Nancy Mace saying that they're passing legislation to declare that if you are not born in America, you cannot serve as an American elected official. And that is interesting. So here it is, always at the center of some of this is race. As I'm exclusively asking Black America about dating, whether it's forever dating or newly found dating, what's your cup of tea? What does that mean to you? And I found Nancy Mace's statement again to be just moronic for a few reasons. She said, we introduced legislation to ban foreign-borns from serving, in office. If you're not from America, you shouldn't be governing America. All right, cool. With that being said, that means Cancun cruise. You can get your $5 ass out of here too and go back to Canada, right? That means Victoria Spartz, Andrew Clyde, certain Republicans, Dan Crenshaw. You got folks from Scotland, Japan, Peru, Ukraine, India, Pakistan, Ireland, German. You got a whole cesspool that are governing the laws and the people in America that were not born in America. So again, the attack thereof are either citizenship or birthright citizenship, or just the fact of my kind of America. So with this kind of ethos, this mindset, does this impact dating? I would like to say argumentatively, yes. Now, you can love who you love and be with who you love, but that doesn't mean that you won't be attacked because of your love. I want us to think about that. A lot of these folk are not natives. And if you are maybe first generation, many of us, many generations, because this is all you know. So the audacity. So as we surmise and conclude this conversation, I'm going to lighten the load, but I also wanted to connect the dots to what's the end game here. You have folk like Mom Donnie. They want out of here. Congressman Ilhan Omar, out of here. Well, if she go, take Cancun cruise with you, right? And the list goes on and on. Think about it. Because even if you're born in America, then they drill down further in terms of your qualifications in America. They don't believe in second chances. The system stacked so high up against black born Americans, it don't make no sense no way. So I want to thank you all for participating in this because it gave us an opportunity to explore some segments we want to talk about and things that we care about, right? Somebody even called back to say it's green meal. So I look forward to even checking out this green meal. I can't guarantee I'll get there at 1:30. That is so late for me, Lord. But the Magic Lounge, I've heard about this. Sounds fun. I don't really get an opportunity to do magic shows unless I'm like traveling on vacation, and even then it's in passing. So I look forward to that, and I hope you all do too. And if you go to these places, report back to the TCS. Let us know. Let us know. Uh, where is that date number 2? Queen Kim, $200 to just take me out on a date. Matter of fact, we're gonna get to that. That would be the next topic. What is a fair amount of money to go on a date? I okay, I'm a mom, right? So I'm in a different bracket, right? But affordable dates, I think are really good if they're creative, right? Creativity is where it's at. Now Chicago got some little hidden gems, but when you start talking about $300-400 to eat, I start thinking about groceries. So I think 20 something me would have, not even thought twice about that. But nearly 40-year-old me, I don't know. I might get a little mad. How much was this bill? Like, well, I just want you to have a good time. This is not good time for me is a refrigerator full of food. Amen. A good time for me is us being able to have a budget line to travel. So I don't know about one date anymore in terms of big prices and what you paid. But I want to talk that out with you all. So we'll do that next Friday. I'll have something very special about that because I see things differently the older I get. When we come back, I want to talk to you about this blockbusting film and how it has shook America to its core. And I am talking about The Odyssey. More when we return.
Shaping up to be a lovely day in Chicago. We'll see some sunshine with temperatures in the mid 80s. Good morning. I'm Anna Flournoy, and here's what's happening. It's a good time for parents to start their back to school shopping. Governor Pritzker's back to school state tax holiday starts today. Now, families can stock up on essential items needed for school, including clothing, footwear, and school supplies with no sales tax added. In Chicago, that's a 10.25% savings. Now, officials say this 10-day period is expected to provide an estimated $10 million in savings for in-store and online customers. The tax holiday runs through the 16th. It's a Bud Billiken weekend in Chicago. This year's Grand Marshal, Hollywood actress Lisa Ray McCoy. She had a long chat this morning with WVON's Rufus Williams. She says she's bringing stars Anthony Anderson and comedian Cedric the Entertainer with her.
Because people don't understand how big and how important and how I am so emotional about this. To them, it's a parade that they've seen on TV every year, because it's the back to school program. It is the celebration to say, yes, education is important still. You've had summer. Now it's time to buckle down and get focused. And we're going to do it again next year, bigger and better.
The 97th annual Bud Billiken Parade kicks off at 10 a.m. tomorrow on Saturday. Tens of thousands are expected to line King Drive for this historic annual back-to-school send-off. In national news, ICE is threatening to have Cook County Sheriff Tom Dart criminally charged. According to reports, ICE sent Dart a letter requesting that he turns over 4 detainees being held at the Cook County Jail. In another letter, they threatened to serve him with subpoenas or face prosecution for tampering with witnesses. The Cook County Sheriff's Office says when they got the letter, 3 of the individuals were already released from custody. They added that under state law, the Cook County Sheriff's Office cannot release an individual in custody to any law enforcement agency or federal agent for an interview. President Trump is taking another stab at restricting birthright citizenship. He signed 2 new executive orders to curb what he calls birthright tourism.
Wealthy people are building businesses around birthright citizenship. That's not the way it's supposed to work. It's a disgrace. They're buying their way in, and we're not going to let it happen.
Back in June, the Supreme Court threw out Trump's first attempt at restricting rights guaranteed under the 14th Amendment in the Constitution. The new order would deny automatic citizenship to children of foreign diplomatic staff working in the U.S., children to parents classified as alien, and children born to mothers taking part in so-called birth tourism. Trump says he plans to also deny visas to some pregnant women trying to enter the U.S. Several civil rights agencies says they will challenge this in court, including the ACLU, who says birthright is a law of the land. Well, that's a look at our news now on 1690 WVON. Traffic and weather up next. WVON News Time, 10:34.
Are you an adult with uncontrolled moderate to severe Crohn's disease symptoms and still packing a backup bag of clothes? Just in case, Skyrizi Risankizumab Risa can help you take control of your Crohn's. Feel significant symptom relief, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements at 4 weeks. Plus, Skyrizi is proven to help people achieve remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Individual results may vary. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's. Ready to take control of your Crohn's? Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's disease. Learn more at skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI.
It's the afternoon show.
You got to remember, when we do it, it's called flued out. Girl, he flew me out.
Oh, don't. Why are you putting my people down?
No, that's what we call it. That's what it is.
Out. You've had this conversation or something.
I flew people out.
You flew people? I mean, flown people out? Now you got me saying.
If somebody telling me you flew me out, no, I'm not flying you nowhere after you just said that. I'm not.
He said I was about to until you said that.
Right.
The afternoon show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Hello, Chicagoland. This is your main man, Tio, Mr. Ceasefire Hardiman. I'm inviting all of my friends, associates, and colleagues to tune in to WVON, the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM for the Tio, Mr. Ceasefire Hardiman Show. This show will cover all the hottest topics, including politics, reducing gun violence, and so much more, right here every Sunday morning from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM, WVON. Thank you.
This report is brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Starting Stronger starts at AutoZone, where we've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
WVON, traffic and weather now.
Great time to run those errands. There are no problems or delays along the Ryan, the Bishop Ford, Tuskegee Airmen Memorial. You will move along at the posted speed. Things are also looking pretty good along DuSable Lakeshore Drive. We are seeing a minor delay northbound right there at Roosevelt Road. That's mainly due to the stoplight at Roosevelt Road and Monroe. And also a couple streets do remain closed as crews are still cleaning up through Grant Park after Lollapalooza. As you make your way along the Stevenson and the Eisenhower, there are no problems there. That inbound trip on the Kennedy, just 25 minutes from O'Hare to downtown, 27 getting to the airport. Taking a look at our weather, turning sunny and pleasant and warm. The National Weather Service says we're headed toward a daytime high of 86. Tonight, things will be pretty mild at 68. We're in the upper 70s still. We're looking at 78 at Midway. It's 78 in Jeffrey Manor and 78 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Now back to the Cleopatra Show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WBON.
What you got to say? Say it. What you got to say?
That some people were so mad when they saw the Odyssey where they were like, what? Black people? What? But the black people are in the movie too. That's not fair. Black people weren't even invented yet. How are they in the movie? It's not right. No, it's great. No, this is very funny. Sometimes like racism comes out and it annoys me or it makes me concerned, but this one was very funny. This one, it's like, you can't make her black. What? No. If they would just come out and be like, hey, listen to me. I have nothing. I have nothing, all right? Which is why I need everybody in the Odyssey to be white. I have nothing. Even though this won't bring any material difference to my life, it's all I need to get by. If they would just say that, I'd be fine. I'd be like, oh, wow, I didn't know you were struggling there, but it's the fact that they come out and they're like, what? Black? Nobody was madder than Elon Musk. Oh, he was furious. Elon Musk was like, how could they do this? Billionaire, by the way. How could they do it? No, it's just funny. Okay, maybe I'm the only one that's gonna find this funny. I can accept that, but I would just love if Elon's at home, just being like, when are they gonna leave our people alone?
And we are back. The time is 10:42. It's a funny clip Fridays. Josh Johnson. Whenever you come to Chicago, brother, you got to stop by the TCS. We love you here, and I want to hear from you all. The Odyssey. Now, in my house, again, 3 under 4. Last night, we were looking to see if Paw Patrol was out in these streets. So I don't get out too often to see adult films. So I had to ask Sonia, to give me some of the tea about it. I did see Lupita look beautiful on the runway. But I'm like, oh, that went all over my head. So now I'm all in the weeds of it because I'm in these streets looking for Paw Patrol and Spider-Man. This is my life, right? But if you've seen the Odyssey, if you look forward to going to support the Odyssey, if you're just going to go see the Odyssey because there is somebody black in the Odyssey, amen, I want to hear from you. 773-591-1690. So here's what I've learned thus far. Director Christopher Nolan has a smash hit movie, The Odyssey. But MAGA is still having a meltdown. So I asked Sonia in the break, I said, why do we call them MAGA? Is MAGA the new iteration for the racists? What does that mean when you're having a meltdown, right? And the meltdown is because he casted a character that was black in the film. and it's a fictional tale, right? So Elon Musk, this muskrat, this Afrikaner, trashed the film for months over Nolan's choice to cast Lupita in Inogo. I might be saying her name wrong, but as Helen of Troy, right? I'm saying, guys, why does Elon Musk matter so much in America? Help me understand. Especially with this is where Trump's uh, controversial posture towards citizenship, birthright citizenship, is on its face a farce, unless you're from a country in which he deems to be acceptable. The film also stars Matt Damon, Anne Hathaway, Charlize Theron, and Zendaya, and Robert Pattinson and Tom Holland, right? So he came after the blackest of the black, right? And she's gorgeous, right? Absolutely, hands down, globally, an icon that has shook to the core every role she's played thus far. Musk, Newsmax host Robert Finnery, and more have slammed the film as a rewriting of history and Nolan as a racist for casting a black actress in a fictional Greek character role. It's fictional. And he's a racist because he put in a sister. Now, night before last, I had the privilege to take my mother and I to go see The Notebook. And it was on Broadway, and we had the sister debut and come here on the TCS. And I told her and the listening audience I was going to come check her out. And I did do that. And it was stellar, successful, superb. I could think of a whole lot of S's that would describe how beautiful it was. However, I can only imagine the book, but I know the film. The film cast type was all Caucasian, and she was definitely African American, black. So when do we get off on that being racist to switch around the color that we see portray these roles? Help me understand. 773-591-1690. Now, The Notebook is a world-renowned book and film and now playwright on Broadway. And she, Allie, was not Caucasian. She was black. So where is that racist? So now Lupita, who's playing the character of Helen of Troy, is cast type. Come on, y'all. This is when they playing in your faces. 773-591-1690. So if anybody has seen the film, please let me know. I am so interested now more than ever. But Josh's interpretation, you know, sometimes when the races come out, it's so hysterical. I can't even pay attention to the racism because y'all really meant that. You were very serious. And I think that that's wrong. That's no different than when they came for Little Mermaid. And all the hoopla because Ariel was black. Ariel can't change two shades. She done been in water all damn day. She done been from beach to beach. You didn't think she was going to get tanned at some point in time in the decades of her existence? You thought she was going to be forever white? Come on, y'all. Like literally and figuratively, the evolution of color transforming America is literally 24 years away by 2050. More when we return.
More from Cleopatra coming up next on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Summer is here, the season of sunshine, swimming, picnics, and the freedom to have fun and enjoy yourself. United Fidelity Bank believes freedom starts with smart savings. Whether you're hanging with friends and family or enjoying a summer night, your money should still be working for you. Open a United Fidelity Bank 18-month certificate of deposit with a 4.25% annual percentage yield. It's a simple, steady way to grow your savings, letting your money work for you. At United Fidelity Bank, they focus on you, your needs, your goals, your questions. Their personal service is something you will not find at a big box bank. Get the experience you need and the service you deserve. Stop by their Chicago flagship branch at 1701 West 87th Street to open your 18-month 4.25% APY CD today, or visit UnitedFidelity.com. United Fidelity Bank, where your summer of smart savings begins. Rate subject to change at any time. CDs renew automatically at the standard rate in effect at the time of renewal unless instructed otherwise. Member FDIC.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Identity theft can cost more than you think. Drained investment accounts, stolen tax returns, lost wages, expenses for lawyers. It's a lot. That's why LifeLock is backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which covers up to $1 million for stolen funds, fees, and experts and lawyers, and out-of-pocket expenses. Don't face the burden of identity theft alone. Protect your future and finances with LifeLock. Join now. Save up to 30% off your first year with promo code BECK at LifeLock.com. 1-800-LifeLock, promo code BECK. LifeLock.com. Terms to apply.
Have you checked out WVON's digital streaming network, Vaughn TV? It's everywhere on Roku, Apple TV Plus, Amazon Fire, on the WVON app, and at VON.TV. Vaughn TV, it's cultural content on purpose.
WVON, traffic and weather now.
Still a perfect time to run those errands as you make your way along the Ryan, the Bishop Ford, and Tuskegee Airmen Memorial. There are no problems or delays to report. Light traffic for now along DuSable Lakeshore Drive each way. As you make your way along the Stevenson and from I-355 to DuSable Drive, that's just a 35-minute trip, 35 traveling out. Things look pretty good in both directions along the Eisenhower as well. You're down to 40 minutes from Thorndale to the Burns Circle, just 35 on the return trip. Your travel time just bumped up slightly along the inbound Kennedy, though. Give yourself 37 minutes there in from O'Hare to downtown. Getting to the airport, slightly heavier, 31-minute trip now. Taking a look at our weather, we're in store for a lovely summer's day in Chicago. Temperatures climbing into the 80s. 86 is our official high, 68 our low tonight. We've been steadily climbing through the 70s and hovering in the upper 70s for quite a while. We're at 79 now at O'Hare. Is 79 in South Shore and 79 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flanoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And now back to the Cleopatra Show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Bunch of internet racists are upset that a fictional character is being played by a black person. And honestly, I don't know what the big deal is. You guys realize that Nemo was black too, right? Yeah, that whole movie was about a fish who can't find his dad. Yeah. Calm down, calm down. I can say that because my dad left and he's white, so who's racist now? It's so ridiculous. First of all, of course, the Little Mermaid is black, all right? Everyone whose name starts with Lil is black. Lil Wayne, Lil Nas X, Lil Kim. Honestly, if you heard that there was a woman named Little Mermaid, you should assume that she's on a track with Cardi B, you know? Look now, wet ass flippers. So look, stop being ridiculous. It's imaginary. You know, I hope this scandal doesn't overshadow the rest of the movie. The Little Mermaid is a beautiful story about a young woman changing her core identity to please a man. Let's not forget about that, people.
And we are back. The time is 10:52. I thought I would remind you. The Little Mermaid. Anybody who name is Little, can we assume that they black? He's definitely missed at the Daily Show. Listen, guys, we're talking about the Odyssey. The Odyssey made this blockbusting debut, but in the background, there's some noise. There's an Afrikaner and a bunch of maggots that want to get her done because Lupita is the star. of a fictional tale. So now black folk can't debut on a big stage with an all white cast. Y'all not gonna spend me. Who's seen the Odyssey? So let me say this. The Odyssey is an epic poem in 24 books traditionally attributed to the ancient Greek poet Homer. The poem is the story of Odysseus, king of Ithaca, who wanders for 10 years, although the action of the poem covers only the final 6 weeks, trying to get home after the Trojan War. On his return, he is recognized only by his faithful dog and a nurse. With the help of his son, Telemachus, Telemachus, Odysseus destroys the insistent suitors of his faithful wife, Penelope, and several of her maids who had fraternized with the suitors and reestablishes himself in his kingdom. That sounds fictional, right? So why white folk go mad? Why they go crazy when they see a Lupita? What makes them act up when Haley decides to debut as Little Mermaid? Or y'all remember Black Little Annie? I can go back to Jamie Foxx and Black Annie. I can keep ringing them bells. But so when we say MAGA, that's bullcrap. Stop giving Trump so much love. It's just typical racism in America, prejudicial actions, bigotry at its finest. Right? I meant what I said. She been in water all damn day. How long you thought she was gonna stay white? How? How is that even possible? Not when her son has been her skin has been kissed by the sun. Stop it. You sound foolish. You sound as foolish as the storyline. But don't get me wrong, I love Greek mythology. I can speak to it very, very matter of factly like yesterday when I learned it all in the 3rd and 4th grade. I love Greek mythology. And although many of the characters, if not all of the characters, are Caucasian, Euro descent, doesn't give a damn to me. I like the story. I don't get lost in the color because it's not the delivery. It is the messenger. It is the message of the messenger that moves me. So I'm curious. You know, Brother Wall said, I seen Odyssey. Was it good? You know, Odyssey scanned Janice and Odyssey's cinematography was amazing. Okay. Lupita did her thing as usual. I find it interesting that they said nothing about Zendaya, who was also amazing. I think they forget her lineage. I think there are times where biracial is accepted, depending on what side they think is acting it out. And I say that as an aunt of biracial nieces. You know, I've watched how some treat folk of biracial descent, and it depends on when favor ain't fair. And it's just to continue to implicitly treat folks as though they've been cursed and yet they've been kissed by the sun. And the fact that you couldn't, if you try without slathering up something, you're innately envious. You know, so I look forward to this because now it's on my radar. Let's talk to Pam. Pam, talk to me. Welcome to WVON. Pam?
Yes, I'm here. Hi, Cleopatra.
How you doing?
I'm here. Hey, how are you? I've been able to enjoy the show so far. I'm in the car. So with Lupita Nyong'o, I love her and her abilities. Now, she plays the role of Helen of Troy. I have not seen the movie yet. And as I understand it, Helen of Troy is supposed to be the most beautiful woman in the world. And perhaps the maggots and the racists have a problem with that. But Cleopatra, I attended a book signing for Pam Grier once, and I don't know if you all are familiar with her book. I can't think of the name, but she talked about just being an actress and being
in that industry. And so there are, she said at one time, I don't know if it was Shakespearean plays or during that time, she said that the authors and writers of those plays would specifically indicate that you cannot have black actors in these roles. And I don't know if anyone else has heard that, and that's what Pam Grier stated. But I also know Homer, who, of course, wrote Odyssey. When I heard Joy Reid discuss it, she said there was no talk of race. There was no construct of race when he wrote this. So there would be no need to specify if it is a white or black role. And, of course, that just comes out of the racism out of the colonizers. And so I just wanted to put that out there, and if that makes sense. But Pam Grier said there was a time that they would, I think, indicate in their wills, some of the writers of certain stories, that they didn't want black actors portraying main characters in their stories.
No, I appreciate it, and thank you for teaching me Nyong'o. I couldn't remember that. I'm amazed. I'm gonna keep on digging. Do you know of another character where the whites have went wild when a black star is born and plays it to the T? Oh, we done let Pam go. Listen, I want you all to think about that. Drop it in the chat. I went all the way back to Annie. Now I love Annie, but when little black Annie came, I was blown away, right? And I think the idea is to don't remind us of how great we are and how things can look if we were looking at this from a multiracial lens. Because Annie has always been Caucasian. Little Mermaid has always been Caucasian, right? So when you think about these roles and when they were reversed, like I said, I saw Allie on Broadway, and she was black, and she was stellar. I enjoyed the Notebook along with my mother and I, and the white person behind me, the white woman behind me, she snotted and cried. She got on my nerves so damn bad. She cried the whole production. But that admittedly tells you how moving it was. And Allie was stellar, and Allie was black. You all got to go check it out. It's at the Nederlander Theater. I've had her on the show. Every star that has come on Broadway in Chicago has stopped by the TCS, and I'm very proud about that. And for me to see that, I've only known White Alley. Black Alley took it up 10,000 notches, and that's what we do. And is that why the whites are mad? If not, I would think you would get glad because you would appreciate the art. You so busy looking at the color. And the picture didn't matter, the frame. The cinematography is what you came to appreciate. More when we return.
As promised, now sunny as temps climb into the mid 80s. On this Friday, August 7th, 2026, I'm in Illinois, and in the headlines, the commission in charge of finding a new police superintendent is asking for public input. 5 community listening sessions are scheduled. A lot of back-to-school activities this weekend. A tax break for purchasing school items starts today. And a Bud Billiken weekend in Chicago. This year's Grand Marshal, Hollywood actress Lisa Ray McCoy, spoke live with WVON's Rufus Williams this morning. She says she's bringing star comedians Anthony Anderson and Cedric the Entertainer with her. The 97th annual Bud Billiken Parade kicks off at 10 a.m. tomorrow. National news from the Black Information Network is next on the Voice of a Nation and the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM, WVON, Berwyn, Chicago. It's 11:02.
I'm Mike Island with BIN News Now. The Department of Justice is considering a move to charge Dr. Anthony Fauci with a crime. A vote by the Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee came after he invoked the Fifth Amendment more than 100 times. Senator Marsha Blackburn is the winner in the GOP primary race for Tennessee governor. She defeated Congressman John Rose and State Representative Monty Fritz. Meanwhile, not a good day for U.S. Representative Andy Ogles. He lost his Republican primary in Tennessee to former state official Charlie Hatcher. The Trump administration wants to cut regulations on the federal Head Start program that serves low-income children. Federal officials want to reduce regulations governing the program, including a proposed change that could eliminate the class size limits. The proposals would go through a federal review process and could take effect as early as 2027. Now back to Terry McCready.
A Senate committee voting to hold Dr. Anthony Fauci in contempt of Congress. Kentucky Republican Rand Paul said what Fauci is being charged with now has nothing to do with what's covered under the pardon.
Well, there's going to be a legal question for judges, and there is some precedent going back to the Supreme Court saying that if you've been granted immunity, that you have to agree to testify. You can't get a pardon and then plead the fifth, that they're inconsistent with each other.
The vote by the Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee comes after the former White House health advisor invoked the Fifth Amendment more than 100 times in a hearing last week about the COVID-19 pandemic. The Department of Justice can now move to consider charging Fauci with a crime. Fauci refused to answer questions, saying he thinks committee chair and Republican Senator Rand Paul wants to see him behind bars and is obsessed with him. Paul accuses Fauci of covering COVID's origins and of unnecessarily closing schools. Senate Republicans voting down an amendment that would have expanded Americans' ability to sue pesticide companies over health risks. The proposal offered by New Jersey's Black Democratic Senator Cory Booker followed a recent Supreme Court ruling that limited lawsuits over pesticide warning labels.
I'm living in a world where it's so different than when I was an executive, because we spend $4.9 billion a day on interest on our debt because of profligate spending. Both sides of the aisle have been the most fiscally irresponsible people to run our country like we're running it now. And we're arguing over an entire program that affects $100 billion and 45 million Americans resolve on it.
All right, supporters said the amendment would have restored the rights of cancer victims to pursue legal action, while Republicans opposed the measure. The Senate Agriculture Committee also failed to advance the broader farm bill during yesterday's meeting. The son of legendary black singer Jubilant Sykes is pleading not guilty to murdering his father. 31-year-old Micah Sykes is accused in the brutal stabbing of the 71-year-old at their Santa Monica home last December. Prosecutors say his mother witnessed the deadly attack. Sykes is due back in court on September 2nd, when a date will be set for a hearing to determine whether there is sufficient evidence for him to stand trial. He remains behind bars without bail. Jubilant Sykes was a Grammy-nominated opera singer. The International Court of Justice has set the timetable for the Democratic Republic of Congo's case accusing Rwanda of international law violations. Kinshasa must file its arguments by October 2027, and Kigali's response is due in late 2028. Kinshasa filed the case in June with allegations that Kigali breached 4 international conventions covering genocide, racial discrimination, discrimination against women, and torture. The allegations span 3 decades. In its application, the DRC argues the accusations have continued for nearly 30 years. Kinshasa accuses Rwanda of committing crimes through armed groups it describes as Kigali's proxies, including M23 rebels. Oral arguments are expected in 2029. I'm Terry McCready for the Black Information Network.
See something suspicious? Say something. Remember, OEMC has your back. Call 911 immediately for police or fire. Enjoy the Air and Water Show safely. Keep Chicago safe.
Tuned in to your favorite WVON personalities on Facebook Live? Don't just watch, like it, love it, share it. Every click helps us grow the conversation and keep the community strong. So remember, like it, love it, share it, Chicago.
Hey everybody, this is Kendall Moore, The Kendall Moore Show, getting you from your work week to your weekend each and every Friday night from 6 until 9 p.m. I get you from your work week to your weekend. Church, Tabernacle.
Kendall Moore, radio for the next generation on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM, WVON.
This report is brought to you by Jewel Osco. Shop Jewel Osco and catch the savings on seafood. Fresh Atlantic salmon fillets are $5.99 a pound. Limit 10 pounds. Plus, Waterfront Bistro 26 to 30 count easy peel raw shrimp is also $5.99 a pound. Limit 4 pounds.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Still mostly light traffic, especially on the south end of the city. There are no problems or delays to report along the Ryan in either direction. Things remain nice and quiet on both the Bishop Ford and Tuskegee Airmen Memorial. And DuSable Lakeshore Drive looks pretty good. The only northbound delay we're seeing is right there at Roosevelt Road. That's mainly due to a stoplight. Taking a look at our weather, the sun has come out from behind the clouds and the fog. The National Weather Service says we're headed toward a daytime high of 86, a low tonight of 68, but we've made it to 80. It's 80 at O'Hare, it's 80 in Hyde Park, and 80 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm in Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago. 1690 WVON.
Live from the Xfinity Studios at WVON, it's the Cleopatra Show on Chicago's essential storyteller, 1690 WVON.
In the graveyard is where we want to do is party. The bar card, dressed in a garden, try to leave it. Spread love, that's what a real mom do. Keep it gangsta, look out for we can get your knees. Or out the peace. We the best, still is room for improvement. Our presence is felt like a black movement. 7 quarter to 8, back to back. 7 with the baby.
Good. We're listening to Funny Clip Fridays on the Cleopatra Show. And who was bumping to? Lil Kim. I'm probably one of the biggest Lil Kim fans, but as of recently, oh, my heart is just melting. Oh, I'm just so sad. You know, when I see her being drugged like nobody's business across social media, I just think back to that little naughty photo they used to hang on my brother's wall that my mama let him have because he a boy, right? You know, Lil Kim was the first to do a lot, particularly when it came to transforming the industry and hip hop as just a woman pioneer. And yet, um, she got tricked. Something or someone got in her head and began to mess with her self esteem. And she didn't accept that she was beautiful. I mean, absolutely beautiful. In fact, the photo my super producer just put up, that was still a person to the left I didn't even recognize then. The original photos of Little Kim, Kimberly, uh, she's practically unrecognizable, so much so that I had to make this a segment. So I have Chicago's own First Lady. She's a pioneer in house music, DJ vocalist, and former WGCI radio personality who became the city's first female commercial radio mix show DJ. First Lady is going to hang out with me, and we're going to talk about Little Kim because I was just heartbroken when I saw
Yeah.
this recent photo. So, welcome to the Cleopatra Show, First Lady.
Well, thank you for having me, Miss Cleopatra. And I too, I'm a Lil Kim fan, not as big as you are, but because I had the pleasure of experiencing Little Kim as we first came to know her, and then seeing that transition, it is heartbreaking. And it's not just Little Kim that this has happened to. It has happened to people in our community where they have not been able to recognize the beauty that they have within themselves. And it really does stem from something deep within trauma that sits with us from when we are little. I believe that when Lil Kim was small, when she was a little Kim, that nobody told her that she was beautiful and why she was beautiful. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, because I'm trying to go through some photos now, and it's hard because this transformation began to happen in the early 2000s, and it's almost like once you start, you can't stop. It's like a box of Pringles, you know.
It's like tattoos. It's like they say with tattoos. Once you get one, that's it. They're gonna cover your whole arm. You're gonna have a sleeve. That's kind of, you know,
Or
how
you
it
can make
works.
a
But
difference.
yeah.
I have a little one. My mother loves to remind me it's an ink spot. And I stopped, you can choose, but just even as I'm
Right.
looking at her, the transformation, the self-esteem aspect. So, historically, Lil Kim hit the scene, Notorious B.I.G., her and Biggie hit it off, Diddy, the whole shebang. Like you heard her say, it's a black anger movement when they pull up.
Yeah.
And she began to transform the scene. But, from the industry standpoint, you've been spending a while, you've been around the block, what is up? Because she isn't alone in this lineup. I can look to the Jacksons, I can look to black folk when we get money and we want to be adjacent and liken ourselves to whiteness. What is going on?
Well, again, it's it's really like the self hate that hate produced. I mean, it goes back long before any of us were even on this earth or even thought of. Um, the self hate, the light skin, dark skin, the house Negro, the field slave, the house slave. It goes all the way back there to what is considered and the strange thing is what is considered beautiful in the United States is not necessarily what is considered the standard of beauty around the world. We're tricked into believing that that is what it is, but that is not what it is. If you travel outside of your comfort zone, you will find out that other people appreciate our natural beauty. We've just been taught to hate it, and it's difficult to unlearn. And so, and like you said, she got started with even when so the story goes that she originally had to have rhinoplasty, and for those who don't know what rhinoplasty is, it is just simply put a nose job. Whether it was to have her bridge narrowed or to have her nostrils rounded or the bulb of her nose to be more pointed to reflect, as people now call it, the Jackson nose, or not. It's supposed to be because of damage that was done to her nose from a domestic violence situation. And that's where the story says it began. But even that is a part of self-esteem issues, that you would stay in a domestic violence situation. That is what the thought process is. Many of us say, somebody put their hands on me. It's going to be a lot of, as Biggie says, flowers.
I'm trying flower bringing and,
and
choir singing. Yeah, I can drop them
yeah,
bars. I'm
so,
trying to
but we do have a lot of sisters who are not that fortunate to have that attitude or to be able to move out of that situation. So for Lil Kim and our sisters who are like-minded as she is in not being able to look in the mirror and see her own beauty. Like I said, it's trauma from when she was smaller.
And I actually have the photo up before she even had the plastic surgery, the rhino surgery to her nose,
Mm-hmm.
juxtaposed to what she looks like today. I mean, it is metamorphosis, and it's not a Tuesday. It's Funny Clip Fridays on my show, and it's almost like the more she gets, the worse it gets. And I don't know
Yeah.
what's going on. And it's
I think some of that, Cleopatra, I think some of that is also has a lot to do with the surgeon that is doing it. You have surgeons that they take one look at you and they know that you have some insecurities. Okay, it's not legit. You really don't need it. It's what they call elective surgery. But their job for some of them is to get that money. So they will go ahead and they will create for you their vision of beauty. And you think it's yours because you've picked it off the wall of other people's noses or shapes of their eyes or cheekbones or chin or breast implants or butt implants, whatever it is. But it's really not what you believe is beautiful. It's what other people, in your perspective, believe is beautiful. Or your man might have been gawking at some female who had full lips and you don't have full lips, so now you want full lips. And we really have to, and it is hard, but we really have to get back to letting our daughters know that they are beautiful just the way they are. And anybody that can't see that doesn't deserve to be in their space.
Well, hold tight. We're talking to the First Lady. You recognize her, former radio personality over WGCI. She's been spinning on the ones and twos, the house music only you can use. And we're talking about Lil Kim. And I'm still just emotional as we are having this conversation because what is it, Black America, that makes us do these things, especially when money comes into the play? Like, at some point, is it the literal you that First Lady is saying, like the inner child that was always told that they wasn't beautiful, or the new you that says a new me and I'm popping out like I'm Barbie? More when we return.
More from Cleopatra coming up next on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Chicago, get ready for a night of pure magic. On Saturday, August 29th, the Destiny's Child Iconic Reimagined Tribute lights up the historic Congress Theater. One unforgettable night celebrating the songs that defined a generation. Imagine Survivor, Say My Name, Independent Woman, Reimagined. A 5-piece string ensemble delivers a stunning symphonic interpretation of the hits and love songs you know by heart, blending contemporary sounds with the group's signature harmonies and those empowering lyrics that still move us today. And guiding you through it all, narrator Matthew Knowles, the management powerhouse who built Destiny's Child from Houston Dream to global phenomenon. Want the ultimate experience? Upgrade to VIP for premium seating and an exclusive meet and greet. But hurry, VIP packages are limited. From the moment the doors open, you'll feel it. It isn't just a concert, it's a celebration. The Destiny's Child Iconic Reimagined Tribute, August 29th, Congress Theater. Tickets at destinyschild.com. Get yours before they're gone.
Lung cancer is common among East Asian descendants, especially females.
We understand our patients have different backgrounds and circumstances, which is why we promote nearly 1,000 health screenings each year, like the CLUES program, which screens high-risk, often uninsured patients for cancer.
If it wasn't for the CLUES program at Northwestern Medicine, we wouldn't know my mom had a lung cancer.
Because we treat our community the same way we treat our patients, better.
Identity theft can cost more than you think. Drained investment accounts, stolen tax returns, lost wages, expenses for lawyers. It's a lot. That's why LifeLock is backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which covers up to $1 million for stolen funds, fees, and experts and lawyers, and out-of-pocket expenses. Don't face the burden of identity theft alone. Protect your future and finances with LifeLock. Join now. Save up to 30% off your first year with promo code BECK at LifeLock.com. 1-800-LifeLock, promo code BECK. LifeLock.com. Terms to apply.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a social media manager.
Did you just post our Q4 earnings to your personal social media?
Oh yeah, used the trending audio and everything.
That's confidential financial data.
Relax. It only went a little viral.
The SEC just commented with the eyeball watching emoji.
This is the job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Alexa, play WVON 1690 AM.
Getting WVON 1690 AM station from iHeartRadio.
Try it out for yourself. America is listening to WVON.
Hi,
I'm attorney Ernesto Borges. I'd like to invite you to join me for the Borges Report for lively discussions about legal matters, politics, government, entertainment, and the topics that concern you and your life. Start your Sunday the Borges way with the Borges Report.
The Borges Report with Ernesto Borges. Sunday mornings at 9 on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
WVON traffic and weather now.
We're tracking a couple new accidents. This one is on the inbound side of the Ryan at 51st Street. Luckily, it is off to the right shoulder. Apparently, a vehicle crashed into a wall there. And as you make your way along the inbound Stevenson, there's an accident at Central Avenue. Apparently, that accident is involving multiple vehicles. Taking a look at our weather, as promised, we're seeing some sunshine and lots of it. The National Weather Service says we're headed to a daytime high of 86. We're now in the 80s. It's 81 at Midway, 81 at 35th Street Beach, and 81 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flurnoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And now back to the Cleopatra Show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Hey, yo, George, won't you go get a bag of the leak-through? I'll be undressed in the bra all see-through. Try to count your dues, thinking I'm a cheat you. The only one thing I want to do is free.
And we are back. You're listening to the Cleopatra Show. It's Funny Clip Fridays, and we're raising up Lil Kim in the best interest of our people. And I have with me, rocking with me, is the First Lady. And I know you got to scoot in a little bit, but I had to play that clip because it took me back to 2006. Lil Kim is fresh out the mix. She done a bid. You know, she has done some iconic things, and yet, you know, her trailblazed iconic records, thoughts, memories will be enshrined in this reiteration of, you know, how she wants the world to see her. And I just wanted to get your take on that alone, you know, the hits, this, the that, and this is it.
I think her musical career, what she has contributed to the world of hip hop, that'll never be forgotten. The sad part, kind of like in the same vein of Michael Jackson, you can't overshadow what he has done. But always in the background, there's going to be some conversation of people who don't have anything better to do with their lives and always want to find fault or something negative to say about other people and their choices with their bodies. And they're going to always want to revert back to that, whether she's a cautionary tale of love yourself the way that you are, or if she is a plastic surgeon's dream. That is something that we'll have to see. But I pray for her that she has found peace in who she is and what she has decided to do with herself. And I hope that the negative stuff that she is hearing, she is not allowing that to be her negative self-talk, because she's had that for too long. That's why she's at the spot that she's in. And, oh, God, please, girl, stop. You've done enough now. Stop. And just focus on, what else is there for you. That's all I can say. I hope she makes some more music. Continue to make that music, girl.
That too. I mean, because if you think about it, you know who I feel like is on the precipice of the repetition of Lil Kim? I hate to say it, Cardi B. Am I the drama?
Yeah.
I barely recognize that cover. You know, she went from I got a bag and fixed my teeth, and now she just a whole nother person. It's happening with her too. But I know I gotta let you go. Sonia is telling me my time is up with you, but make this commitment.
Tell Sonia she is not the boss of us.
She definitely come in here and tell me what to do. Let this not be the last time you stop by, because I want to talk it out with you in terms of women in hip hop and where do we go from here. I would definitely love that. So I appreciate the time today.
Thank you, and I appreciate you for having me. And this will not be the last time that we speak. And you have a blessed day. And to the listeners, you have a blessed day as well.
All right, guys. So listen, we're going to continue the conversation because I got to let the first lady go. She got to scoop. But I'm serious. As I look at the Cardi B, I look at the Nicki Minaj is what I prefer. I look at Foxy Brown, who unfortunately is deaf, so she can't hear me now. But I did hear her clown a number of the women in the industry, and they didn't take too good to that, and she has been gone ever since. Um, I could think of Queen Latifah, who really didn't do too much transformation, but lived a life in the shadows in terms of who she loved. And now she's proud about it. And I thank God that she's found peace with that. But, I can go to a number of the folks in the industry. But what happens? Why is this the case? Honestly, Drake, folks say he pectoral muscles to what he was born with and the enhancement thereof. You use your imagination. Why do we do this to ourselves when we get money? Like, what is it? As I have this image up of little Kim and her evolution to what she used to look like at the alpha stages, I meant what I said. She's unrecognizable, and it's not in the good way. But she's right. Michael Jackson, you know, I tend to gloss past what he did to himself and appreciate the artist, but what he did to himself unmistakably spoke to what we felt through his music, and I guess how he was treated. I don't know, but I think that there's something there. Now, J.S. Smith says, I like the way MC Light has carried herself throughout the years. Now, MC Light got it right. In fact, I was rocking with her when she and all of the New Yorkers came to take over the city a couple months ago. And she's just beautiful, hands down. Make no mistake about it. And definitely, if she did change anything, she cut her hair a little shorter. That's about it. So you right about that one. Madonna. Oh, she looked like death. I just gotta say it, right? Self mutilation is something. What is it? Is it the industry? Is it the drugs? Is it the lean? What did these people so wrong, or who did them so wrong that they had to morph into something that they can't control it now? I want to hear from you. 773-591-1690. When we return, I got Tommy on the live line. I see you all in the chat, and we're going to close it out with Lil Kim. We got some clips we're going to continue to play.
Sunny, warm, and pleasant. 86 is our high today. Good morning. I'm Annette Flanoy, and here's what's happening. There's a very disturbing discovery affecting several grieving Chicago families. Dozens of decomposing bodies are found inside a Southeast Side funeral home. Perry Williams has more.
More than 50 decomposing bodies were discovered at the Southside Chapel on 95th Street. This man says he's noticed unusual smells in the area.
Every time I come through here, I smell a foul smell in the air. And I was wondering what that smell was, and I kept thinking maybe it was the sewer.
The Cook County Medical Examiner's Office is working with authorities to identify the bodies right away and notify their families. I'm Perry Williams.
The commission in charge of finding a new Chicago police superintendent is asking for public input. The Community Commission for Public Safety has set up 5 listening sessions. The first one is set for August 17th at Malcolm X College. The final one will be a virtual session on September 10th. Larry Snelling retired last month after a stellar career in Chicago law enforcement of more than 30 decades. Fred Waller is serving as interim. November 12th is the commission's deadline to hand over its list of finalists to Mayor Brandon Johnson. The Illinois Secretary of State's office is launching a pilot program that will make it easier to get disability parking placards. This comes after a new law in effect that allows families caring for children and adults with disabilities to receive handicap signs. Before the change, only actual drivers with disabilities could be granted the privilege. Well, it's a good time for parents to start their back-to-school shopping. Governor Pritzker's back-to-school state tax holiday starts today. Families can stock up on essential items needed for schools, such as clothing, footwear, and school supplies, with no sales tax added. In Chicago, that's a 10.25% savings on every item. Officials say this 10-day period is expected to provide an estimated $10 million in savings for in-store and online customers. The tax holiday runs through the 16th. It's a Bud Billiken weekend in Chicago. This year's Grand Marshal, Hollywood actress Lisa Ray McCoy, had a nice long chat this morning with WVON's Rufus Williams. She says she's bringing stars Anthony Anderson and comedian Cedric the Entertainer with her.
It's the back to school program. It is the celebration to say, yes, education is important still. You've had summer. Now it's time to buckle down and get focused. And we're going to do it again next year, bigger and better.
The 97th annual Bud Billiken Parade kicks off at 10 a.m. tomorrow on Saturday. Tens of thousands are expected to line King Drive for this historic annual back-to-school send-off. Well, that's a look at our news now on 1690 WVON. Traffic and weather up next. WVO News Time, 11:34.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years guaranteed? Now through August 24th, new Xfinity customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, it keeps you protected from online threats and get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
This August, renew your spirit only on Vaughn TV. Watch Behind Our Walls, a powerful documentary following incarcerated men pursuing a college education through the Calvin Prison Initiative. It's an inspiring story of determination, redemption, and the transformative power of second chances.
There's a lot of bad things that happen in prison. It's a dark place. You have all the time in the world. So you can either become a better human being or you become a worse human being. And the choice is yours.
Then spend time with Serenity, Strength, and Style with Sylvia Ewing and friends. Uplifting conversations about wellness, self-care, resilience, and living with intention. August on Vaughn TV offers stories that stay with you long after they're over. Watch on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, the WVON app, or at Vaughn.tv. Vaughn TV, for the culture, by the culture.
Hi, I'm Tavis Smiley, inviting you to join me weekdays from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. right here on WVON. I am bringing you a national perspective on all the happenings in the Black community and, of course, politics. It's talk radio for us, by us, and this is where America listens.
It's Tavis Smiley, weekdays from 6 to 9 p.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Hello, Chicagoland. This is your main man, Tio, Mr. Ceasefire Hardiman. I'm inviting all of my friends, associates, and colleagues to tune in to WVON, the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM for the Tio, Mr. Ceasefire Hardiman Show. This show will cover all the hottest topics, including politics, reducing gun violence, and so much more, right here every Sunday morning from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM, WVON. Thank you.
This report is brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Lovely light, because we have quite a bit of incidents happening on the roadways right now. We're going to go back to the Ryan inbound there at 51st Street, where there is an accident. It's off to the shoulder there at 51st. There was a car, a crash into a wall there. Now on the Eisenhower, we have a new accident on the inbound side at 25th. Also, their a disabled vehicle at Central. And turning to the Stevenson, where the left lane is blocked there at Central, that crash is involving multiple vehicles. Taking a look at our weather. Bright skies as we make our way into the mid 80s today. The National Weather Service says we're going down to 68 tonight, but we're nicely making our way through the 80s. We're at 81 at Midway. Partly cloudy skies and 81 at 35th Street Beach and 81 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago. 1690 WVON.
And now back to the Cleopatra Show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
She went to jail to protect her crew, and hip-hop never gave her credit for it.
Is that the beginning?
Kimberly Denise Jones left home at 14 and was living on the streets of Brooklyn when she met Biggie. He didn't just discover her, he shaped her. Her 1996 Hardcore was the highest charting debut for a female rap album at the time, and it went on to sell over 5 million copies worldwide. She won a Grammy. She influenced Cardi B, Rihanna, and Nicki Minaj, artists who built empires off the blueprint she drew. Then came the federal case. In 2005, Lil Kim was convicted of perjury for lying to a grand jury to protect members of her crew after a 2001 shooting outside a New York radio station. She served a year in federal prison. Here's the twist. The woman who shaped an entire generation of female rap paid a price none of her successors ever had to. While she was locked up, the throne was up for grabs. The beef with Nicki Minaj started with accusations that Nicki built her lane by copying Kim's style, and the two have never reconciled. So did hip-hop abandon the Queen Bee right when she needed it most? Drop your take below. She went to jail.
And we are back. The time is 11:40, and we're talking about Lil Kim. You heard it. And the evolution. I want to thank the First Lady for taking some time to come talk to us about this, because this hip hop superstar is practically unrecognizable. And yeah, I am a Little Kim fan. So, when I think about, sometimes I draw a blank. Man, she did go to jail. She took that bid, wouldn't talk, perjured herself. And when she came back, the industry was shook up, and she has been falling out of place ever since. But so has her cosmetologist. Like, what is going on? So here it is. We're going to play some funny clips, because if you've ever been to a Lil Kim concert, which I haven't actually, believe it or not, but her infamous dance got Sonya weak. And it's trending so much so it has made it down to Alabama. And if you know Mary J. Blige and her two step, let me introduce you to Lil Kim and her steps. Listen to this.
We already heard a few gunshot rounds, but I ain't think nothing of it. Nobody didn't hear no screaming. So I'm getting to the car. I hear fire, 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 fire. At least by 7 rounds. So I'm ducking, I'm dodging, I'm ducking, I'm dodging, I'm ducking. Doing Lil Kim. Trying to get my baby in the car, then I throw my baby in the back seat. And we just sped off. We already heard a few gunshot rounds, but I ain't think nothing of it. Nobody didn't hear no screaming. So I'm getting to the car.
Wait, one
I
more
hear
time.
At least by 7 rounds. So I'm ducking, I'm dodging, I'm ducking, I'm dodging, I'm ducking. Doing Lil Kim. Trying to get my
Hey,
baby in the car,
that's
then I
that.
throw my baby.
Listen, she said, I'm ducking, I'm dodging, I'm doing a look. So don't tell me this hip hop icon is not influential. Look, Kim saved her and her baby life. She threw the baby in the car that she did to Look Kim, threw the baby in the back seat. You hear that twang? Oh, wait, so Sonya on the roll, y'all. So Sonya, wait, we got the ducking. Wait, so if you are tuning in via stream, you'll see right now, Lil Kim hitting that duck and dodge that saved this lady's not life, like real talk. So, again, if you know Mary J. Blige and her two-step, it ain't gonna save your life, but Lil Kim saved hers with the "Get Down, Little Mama." So, right here in this video, Lil Kim is about to duck and dodge. Oh, oh, look at that arm. Look, that's how she got down low. She missed one, two, three, four, five, six, 7 shots. She heard about 7 rounds because she was ducking and dodging like Lil Kim. So this icon, this superstar, I'm going to continue to pray and uplift her. But again, it is speaking to our confidence and our ability to sustain while being black in America and knowing that you are more than enough. Look, Kim is one of the most beautiful, iconic people. And now she's completely unrecognizable. So we got another clip where this is really a real person. It is actually Lil Kim. It doesn't look like a real person, but you know, they did they say she looked like a leprechaun? Lord have mercy. So you see the you was out now. You was so you out of order for this. Hey y'all, this is Funny Clip Fridays, and this clip is actually hilarious because the little leprechaun, she does look like him, but Lord help us. 773-591-1690. The internet with an E is undefended. Is you can't defend it, right? Like, and then you can do with the internet, right? But what you can do for yourself is love on yourself and be and have grace with yourself and embrace all of you. Let's talk to Tommy. Tommy gonna come with a word. Let's talk to him. Tommy, welcome to WVON.
First of all, good morning to you, Ms. Draper, and especially to your listening audience. And what you have here is the unrealistic inability to accept reality. As beautiful as she is, and her music and the things that she accomplished, yet it is called the curse of the microphone. This is when people who are supposed to pray, preach, and people who are supposed to preach, sing. And I'm simply saying this to all of us, that this might be a reminder. These people have never liked us, never will like us, are never going to like us, and the clock is running out. And I'm just asking everybody, why are we defined by someone else? And the sad part about it is you can see what happened when money and common sense do not meet at the crossroad. Are you serious? Have a great show.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. Hey, they never liked us, nor will they ever. But if they could only be us for 15 seconds, they will take it every time. We will continue to raise this up. But like I said, Lil Kim is not alone. She's not. And as this iconic being from my era, it does hurt me. Now, I did get a laugh at the leprechaun video, but it hurts me when I see that she just can't stop, right? Like, and that's what cosmetologists they do, right? Like, so when you start to cut on yourself and morph and do all of these things, you have to keep it up. And I think a lot of folks do not understand that. So when you get these implants and all of this reconstruction, you have to keep it going because one thing about your body, it's not going to stop aging. It's not. So, for what it's worth, that temporary satisfaction and happiness, I just want to hear from you all. I see you all in the chat. I see you all on the phone lines. When we come back, we got some more funny clips for you all. I enjoy kicking off um, the social intercourse, right? So we don't proclaim that. We're going to take that one. We're going to take that one and we're going to bring that up reoccurring because next Friday, I have a commitment to talk about just the money. How much do you spend on a date? We're going to mull over that on the weekend. For those of you all that have plans, let us know. You busting the caps off of bottles, aged wine. What does it look like for you to be able to dine out in Chicago? Last night I went to sleep, and I may cover this Monday. There's some exclusive reporting in the red states where this woman, she wears bandages on her arm almost every day because she sells her plasma just so she can eat. She has less than $4 in her account just to keep it open and 6 pennies in her piggy bank. So, juxtaposed to the high of the funnies is the low of reality for me. So, I'm going to always have a delicate dance as we evolve as a class, but the reality. So, For those of us that can lavish and dine, my mother said ain't no withdrawals without no deposits. So for those of us that do, let me know. We'll talk about it on Friday, but I'll be mulling over it and I'll package it for those that can't eat today and don't know where their meal comes tomorrow. This is Trump's America. And there is a tale of multiple cities. It used to be a tale of two cities if you just look at Chicago. But when you have to sell your plasma 2 times a day just so you can eat, and Trump's economy, because you can't afford groceries, let alone your rent. Who am I to talk about the lavish ability to dine and enjoy life? Because somebody is. Now, how many of us are able to is the reality of what you vote for. We'll be back.
More from Cleopatra coming up next on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This summer, experience live music under the stars at Ravinia, everybody. Gladys Knight, Brian McKnight are going to headline, and they'll be joined by Chance the Rapper, and a special opening night gala performance featuring Lizzo with the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. See great performances all season long, from legendary voices to hometown favorites. Ravinia brings unforgettable sounds to the summer stage. Get your tickets now at ravinia.org.
It's Gospel with Pam Morris Walton, your gospel sister, on WVON Sundays, 11 to 2 p.m. Music to help you on your journey. I'll see you there, WVON.
On the new episode of Mama, I Made It, Chicago made her. Hollywood embraced her. The South Side's own Lisa Ray McCoy sits down with Samantha Chapman for intimate conversation on Mama, I Made It. From her breakout role in the Players Club to becoming a television icon and entrepreneur, Lisa Ray opens up about her career, her Chicago roots, and the journey behind her success. Don't miss this exclusive interview, streaming now on Vaughn TV. Watch on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, the WVON app, or at VON.TV. Vaughn TV, for the culture, by the culture.
It's Rufus Williams.
Chris, good morning. Welcome to VON.
Ain't no drive on the morning drive with Rufus Williams. Thank you, brother.
Weekdays at 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Changes to your travel time. Inbound on Dan Ryan, still giving it about 20 minutes. Looking at Bishop Ford, though, outbound, it's 21 minutes, but some stop and go between 130th and Dalton. Northbound and southbound to Salvo Lakeshore Drive is moving at the posted speed. Taking a look at the Kennedy, though, it's still 32 minutes from O'Hare to downtown. And downtown O'Hare, you're looking at 40 minutes. Taking a look at our weather, it's mostly sunny today after a cloud of fog this morning. We are heading to a daytime high of 84 and tonight a low of 71. Currently, it's 80 degrees at Midway, 80 in Olympia Fields, and 80 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Kayla Patton on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
More than 30 years after his Martin debut, comedian Tommy Davidson is resurrecting his iconic character and that yellow suit in a spin-off, The Barnell Hill Show, coming to Paramount Plus on September 1st.
It's going to be a really good thing, man. We worked hard for it, too.
Tommy telling The Art of Dialogue, it's a project that's been in the works for 5 years.
I'm warning you, if I don't get me some Barnell soon,
I'ma turn this mother.
Well, put the chair down because here's your first look. That's Tommy as Varnell with his team behind the scenes of his long-running late-night talk show as the host fights to stay relevant amid industry changes. The ensemble cast includes beefy veteran Kim Whitley.
I got to do the Martin Show back in the day. A funny cast. It's gonna be on and popping.
It's a TV show about a late night talk show that's really a late night talk show. So when we go to the nighttime part, we got real guests.
Yep, expect cameos from Dion Cole, Damon Wayans, Mike Epps, Omarion, and more. Plus, the man himself, Martin Lawrence, who's also an executive producer.
Everybody showed up. The set was like back in the 90s, man.
Okay, folks, here we go.
E.T. was on the Martin set with the OG cast back in the 90s.
What happens is,
Oh, I'm gonna kill you. Okay, now listen, y'all are fired. Excuse me.
Tommy's fan favorite persona, who only appeared in a short 2-episode arc, now ready for his own moment in the spotlight.
is there room for something like that now? I think so. The camera came on. I ain't say nothing that was on the script.
Do you have a pool?
Don't have a pool.
But we got a 10-mile lake out back. They call it Lake Varnell. Yes, catfish are delicious.
He was trying to not laugh, man. It turned out to be a classic because that was our real relationship, you know?
Dead beans and gravy. I ain't too lazy.
It was the most wonderful thing for me. It's a responsibility too. And so I do the best job I can for everyone.
Of course I did.
And we are back. It's Funny Clip Fridays on the Cleopatra Show. The time is 11:54, and the Varnell Show is coming to Paramount. Did you miss me? If you know something about it, man, I'm taking you back to the 90s. Shiboing boing. I am a big Varnell Hill fan, but I'm a Martin Lawrence fan all day. But Tommy Davidson, not only can he sing, he can act, he is comedic, and he is just priceless. Improv king, okay? The Varnell Hill Show. Did you miss me? I look forward to that opportunity. The phone lines are definitely yours, 773-591-1690. If I might be like Martin when Varnell Hill told him, "Hey man, when you come to town, it's all right, man. Just come to LA. Just hit me up." I don't know if y'all remember that episode when Martin came and he wouldn't give him his 2 seconds of fame. That's all right. You know, you got to be careful what you tell folk, especially ambitious folk. Don't tell me I can come through and I pull up and I'm here. You better embrace me. I'm like Martin all day, every day. I'm in the skybox. I'm going to the phone lines. Let's talk to Jay. Jay, talk to me. Welcome to WVON.
Cleopatra,
How you feeling?
you already know. Every day's a good day when I talk to you. This whole Jay, I just want to say, I don't even know what's going on because the guy who answered the phone, he was laughing at me. But I just want to say again, you're still holding me to my composure. I just wanted to call you and tell you again today is Friday, and I don't have anything good to say, so I'm not going to say anything at all. How about that?
Well, I mean, it was still good. I get to hear your voice. I appreciate you listening and giving us a call and make it a better day.
Hey, love you to death. Keep doing what you're doing.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Listen, guys, I see you all in the chat. I mean, are you all excited for the Varnell Hill Show? I think this reboot is genius and it's worth an effort. It's worth a try. Right now, you know, when I think about television and what do I watch, it's nothing like growing up in the 90s and the 2000s, like early 2000s, really. And I can't think of where's the Martins and the Living Singles and Living Color. But I love comedy and I'm an improv queen, right? So I am willing to support this brother all day. I hope you all join me. You know, I might have to have Sonya send him this clip, reach out. I might make a cameo there, right? Like, shaboing boing, right? Here it is. I'm a 90s baby, right? I grew up in the 90s. And 30 years later, here we go. I think that that's awesome. And you couldn't have told me from WZUP I would be down with WVON. Like, I just think it is so much irony there that I might have to holler, right? But I can't do it without you all. And in order for us to support and protect us, we gotta build, and we gotta not only support Vaughn TV, but when we see us doing great things, we have to do it in numbers, right? So I just think that this has so much potential. But Tommy has an amazing spirit. And I just think that era was so creative. It truly was, right? From the Strictly Business to the Boomerang to Martin to House Party to all of these dope sets where they continue to all work and build with each other, I think is iconic. And to this day, many of them still work with each other. I think that that's even more special. So I don't know about you all, but I get excited when I see Black excellence continuing on with the momentum as though it was just yesterday, even though it was 30 years ago. How dope is that? How special is that, right? So here's the deal. Tomorrow is a big day in the city of Chicago for the Bud Billiken Parade. Again, I want to thank Dr. Maidi Sinsteak Rice for kicking off the week with us. Last Friday, we featured the Royal Princess, the Royal Court Princess Monroe Edwards. I met the King, Queen, and the little prince yesterday, hanging out with Amanda Williams as she unveiled the other Washingtons. So I really do a yeoman's job of trying to support folks to stop by the TCS. So I want you all to come spend some time and bless the Bud Billiken Parade. So I'm getting some rumors of the potentiality of a teen takeover, and I promise you it will be a takedown. It will be a smackdown that your mama failed to bring you if you pull up with that energy. So if I were you, I would be wise, and I would hope under the sound of my voice for the big old age adults that has a child near them that they love and care about, forewarn them. Don't come with that energy. It is a lot of love and work and investment that is poured into tomorrow, and it will not be in shambles. I look forward to meeting the Grand Marshal. I look forward to all of the parades. Please meet and mingle with everyone. This is the largest Black parade in American history. And that is the furthest of what I would like to talk about on Monday. I hope to come in here with some piping hot news and expound upon all the Black excellence that we delivered Saturday from Bronzeville as we continue the legacy of the 97th Bud Billiken Parade. If we can play that kick up music, I'm going to kick on out of here. Let me be clear, guys. Piping hot tea. I anticipate that they found Mitch McConnell. I will anticipate the confirmation of Todd Blanche. And maybe they might find some ammunition to continue Trump's war because right now they have none. So I want you all to be safe. Have a wonderful weekend. And I look forward to hanging out with you only on the TCS. That's right. It's the Cleopatra Show Monday at 9 a.m. with some piping hot tea for Manic Monday.
CBD Oversight Board says public meetings on search for a new top crop. And the beloved Bud Billiken Parade kicks off tomorrow for its 97th year and will showcase some of the best and brightest of Chicago talent. The Black Information Network is next on Chicago's original social media platform, 1690 AM WVON, Berwyn, Chicago.
I'm Mike Island with BIN News Now. The Department of Justice is considering a move to charge Dr. Anthony Fauci with a crime. A vote by the Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee came after he invoked the Fifth Amendment more than 100 times.